Hello, hello. Today we're gaming. There's some noises. There's a baby in my house and some other people. This is okay, cause we're gonna be trying to get levels, cause we're like level not enough, and we need more of those to do good, cause we're almost done the game. So we're gonna be getting some levels today. It's gonna be something. I don't know if it'll be exciting, but I got friend Smiley here. Friend Smiley's hanging out.
You get a side stream up?
Yeah, very shortly. So yeah, that's what we got going on today. Hey, where in the world? Oh, you know what? It's because I have it minimized. We can go to this, and then turn off my lovely tunes that I love so much. And then open the game. And then we can do this. We got it. Cool. So yeah, any and all background noise. So sorry about this. But welcome. We got gaming. So the maximum level in this game is 50, and we are not there. So we're gonna have to go. I don't know why I went this way. It doesn't help that the tunes in this part of the game is just whispering.
This is what songs are.
This is just how songs sound. Literally, like, no pepper steak. Just noise. Oh, and that. I'm gonna turn that down. That is not my favorite. Please be. Where is it? There it is. Oh, it's already down. Okay. Baby sounds would have been appropriate if we were fighting the baby, but we're not. We're not in that part of the game yet.
I hate it when the babies use their screaming on me.
Yeah. Oh, Omega is dying. What's this? Why are you dying? Is this one that cures poison? Yeah. Guys take so many hits. Yeah. I think Epsilon's gonna pass away real quick. Don't do that. I hate when my add-ons die.
I hate it when my funny foods die.
I don't like when this happens.
I hate it when this happens. And it happens a lot.
I just want to have my hula hoops and hula hoop.
I just want to have my hula.
Yeah. Oh god, they're gonna end my life. This is fine. Off is a difficult game.
Off is the game ever.
So
I can't
true.
speak the difficulty because I've never played it myself.
It is the game ever.
I love to watch people play video games. Maybe I don't play video games myself. Actually, that's not true. I play plenty of video games. It's just not often.
I don't play very many video games, but this is one of the video games that I play. At least now, not before.
In Minecraft, I play Splatoon, play Picross. That's the games.
Those are some good games.
This is the
I should play Splatoon. I've heard very good things about Splatoon.
It's a good game. I wish it wasn't $60, but so is every other game on the Switch.
True. The remake of a $40 DS game is going to be $60, because why not?
Yeah.
Still gonna buy it though.
Yeah.
Take all of my money, Nintendo. Take all of it.
That's, yeah, when Splatoon 3 comes out, it's like, man, I wish it wasn't $60. I already have another Splatoon game. I mean, I'm still buying it, but like...
Yeah. I don't have any of the little things. Splatoon mention is funny because I'm watching while doodling Splatoon fan art. Hell yeah. I really like Splatoon fan art. It's like the closest I've gotten to being part of Splatoon fandom, and it's always really nice. Like, there's some real good artists in Splatoon.
There are. All Splatoon art is so good, I see it, and I go, let's fucking go.
I like the hairstyles they have with, like, the squid legs.
Yeah, the tentacle.
Yeah, it's real nice. And there's always really nice colors, because the colors are always super saturated, which is like the best way to have colors.
It is, and they always have cool shoes, which I love. I really love when you use cool features.
Splatoon is just cool. I think I should play Splatoon.
It's a good game.
There's so much good art. Crazy Calling probably does some of the best art. I'll have to check that out. I mostly see things in passing. I probably see things on your blog out there. It's probably on your blog that I'm seeing it, but I always enjoy seeing it, even though I don't really know what I'm looking at.
Just funny squids. I don't really know much about this story. I was going to read the comics, and then I didn't because I was too busy playing the game. So
it happens. That's what I did with Portal.
Yeah, I know there's plot in the games too, but I didn't play the first Splatoon, and then the second Splatoon I mostly play the multiplayer stuff, and I play the story mode. So it's like.
I didn't even know there was a story mode. I knew there was story because of there's the it's like post-apocalyptic, isn't it? Or at least the new game is. So I knew that there was a story, but I didn't know there was story mode.
Yeah, there's I can't remember exactly what it was. It's something after. Basically, it's the next human evolution is we all go back into the. Is it we all go back into the ocean, or is it? I don't remember. It's either that or squids become people. It's one of those. See, I'm a fake Splatoon fan. I don't even know the lore.
Hey, that's okay.
I know they're funny squids, and I know they can't swim because you die when you fall in water, and that's.
Really?
That's all I need to know. Yeah.
Oh.
It's because the ink, it's the ink keeps them from drying out, and then when they fall in the water, the ink washes off. So you die with that. Well, they don't say you die, but it's kind of I would assume that's implied. Yeah,
that's a little crazy.
I've only played the story mode once because I was at an airport and I didn't have any Wi-Fi, and the story mode doesn't require you to have Wi-Fi. So I played that at the airport when I was playing.
Hey, that's the way to do it. That's what I'd be doing. there anything over here? No. Yeah, I mean, lore is cool. I enjoy lore in games, but also it's not the most important thing. The most important thing in gaming is having a good time. I just heard a cat noise.
I heard it too.
Is that you, or is that the game?
No, it's the game. It's not me. I don't have a cat, sadly.
Oh, that's so weird. I was like, oh,
Yeah.
friend Smiley's cat is meowing. Not real. Oh no, it's you! No! What are you doing? Meowing at the top of my lungs, pretending the echoes belong to someone I used to know. Stop! That's so sad. I'm gonna start crying on a Monday afternoon. People died after World War V since people nuked the ice caps and sea levels rose and cephalopods evolved to take our place on land, basically. Oh, awesome. That sounds...
Yeah, you know how it is.
That sounds bad.
I love how Splatoon is a social commentary, but also it's a funny game in where fish that lives on land and you're fighting to cover places in food.
Yeah. This is the saddest thing I've ever seen in a video game. I completely forgot about this.
Yeah.
His little meow. The way his sprite, he's like frowning and then he opens his mouth. This is the saddest thing ever. I need to get away. I need to go.
Dude, a little kitty cat.
So much deepest lore, and I unfortunately don't know it all. Or you unfortunately know it all. Oh. Hey, lore is fun. It's good to know things. I like knowing things.
I've heard that like Splatoon has comics that are about like certain like actual like characters, and like I've seen stuff about it, and I used to have a friend who was really into them. So like I see the character, I'm like, oh, I know that's the funny guy, but like I want to read them. And one day I will. One day I'll have the attention span. And
hey, that's the spirit. That is the attitude to have.
It'll happen eventually. Probably.
The manga is bad. Alright,
Oh,
the manga is bad.
That's okay, I'll read it anyway. I love to see pictures.
Pictures are good. I'm a big fan of pictures. Which one is this? This is the beginning. This is left.
I see things all the time.
I went up there already. Yeah, seeing things is definitely one of my favorite things to do. I love to see things. Hey, why can't I go to the up? I know this is nothing, which is really upsetting. What does this say? Oh. It says there's ghosts.
I think that was where the lake, the Elston lived.
Yeah.
It's blocked off.
Looking at pictures of one of the most things ever, so true.
This is extremely true.
Oh no, Omega's poisoned. Please refrain from dying. Oh god, this is bad.
Giant slime twice my size attack.
Oh, I did not mean to attack. Wait, no, I didn't. There we go. They do so much damage.
They do. I wish they didn't do that.
It's not like... It's not boss level damage, but it's damage and it poisons me and I don't like it.
Yeah.
one of those streams where I should have music on, so that we're not just listening to, like, whatever this is.
Sounds like it reminds me of, like, not the beach, but like a port, and I don't know why. It's like a bell sound.
Yeah,
Like,
it's like the really big bells at, like, docks and big boats.
yeah, that's right, they have those. I was like, why is this? I think I'm thinking bells at docks.
Yeah. No, I
Yeah.
feel that. And it's, like, very rhythmic, and the whispering and the shushing.
Can't even hear the whispering and the shushing.
Yeah, it's quiet. And I have it turned down some.
Downside of being partially deaf, cannot hear track sound.
True. That'll do it. Long string? What in the world? This sign is unreadable. Okay.
Yeah.
What if he's just saying that? What if he's just convincing me? This is the area that I can't get to for some reason, and I want to know what's down here. Oh, it's the shop. At least I can save. And heal. I love to do that. What do these say? Oh, I didn't get to read it. Oh, I didn't get to read it again. There we go. Nothing on the poster. That's cool. Oh, and this is just straight up empty.
It's empty, and there's probably beasts that will attack you.
Of course. I love to see a beast. Oh, there's a chest in there that I would like to get to. Please, 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 please. Oh no. Please, please, please.
I love when I have access to chests.
Now, I want to know why one of... Oh, I'm sorry, I had talked over you.
Oh, that's okay.
I want to know why one of the chests is open.
I think there's a chest there before that we opened. And so it's just still there.
Maybe.
This is what I assume.
It's very strange and unusual.
This is true, because everything else is gone.
Yeah. Oh dear, we're dying. We'll save first base. Just a little bit. I was looking at the wiki to figure out, like, how many levels I need. I never figured out how many levels I need, but I did figure out the max level for the battery. At some point, I think it was level 45, he learns, say, Secret Base, which I think is just a great name for a competence. It's a secret base.
Base. They don't really know about.
If it was... the baseball doesn't want you to know. Yeah, because, like, you can save... I don't even know what saving a base would even mean, but... If it's, like covering the base... Maybe it's, like, a mistranslation. If it's, like, covering a base... Or of greatness, what is that?
It be a mistranslation, that's true. Or, well, if it was on the wiki, I assume.
What?
If you read it on the wiki, it's an anonymous translation, who knows?
True. It's, like, weird. Like, it might be the, like, the accepted translation, but it might be a weird way to translate. How is this different? This is the same.
What baseball is like in Europe.
Maybe one. Yeah, to be fair, Europeans don't really know anything about baseball. Can't really trust them.
Do they not play baseball?
Not really. They have a game called Rounders, which is like a children's game. And it's kind of like baseball. They don't really have baseball.
It's weird to think about a sport just not being a thing other places.
Yeah. Especially, like, because I study sports. Like, sports is my major in school, and it's like, oh, they don't play football. That's weird. They don't play.
Yeah.
They got rugby. That's not the same. You're not about to tell me
Yeah.
that football and rugby are the same. That would be just silly.
Football
How did
and
I?
rugby are like cousins.
Yeah,
They're
they're
not.
from similar. The history is they think that American football came from rugby. What in the world? But it's like not really,
This would
as
make
some
sense.
people think other things. They're like, oh well, it didn't come from rugby. It came from this other sport that's just like rugby. Like, okay, sir, whatever you say. Oh, look at this. Color of sadness.
No.
Oh,
I need to
hey.
see it.
I can't even read the sign anymore. It doesn't say anything. This is so messed up. Awesome, I'm poisoned again. Oh no, I did the wrong one. I used it. Attack with random impact. Attack ignoring the adversary's. That's weird. It ignores the defense. I'll have to keep that in mind. Okay, save set face on you. I wish some of my other characters knew healing things. Special attacks. This one is this, which I looked at already and I forgot. What do you have? Increasing attack and defense, multiple attacks. That's like interesting though. I can use that. Oh wait, that one's poisoned. I forgot. Please don't be poisoned anymore. It's poisoned again? Why does this keep happening to you, dude?
I hate it when I'm poisoned.
I hate to be poisoned. It's the worst.
It happens all the time.
Taking consistent damage multiple times over a period of time. I also hate to use so many competence points. What is this? And to miss attacks. What? I just cured his poison and it's back.
Got poisoned again.
I guess. Unless I misclicked somehow. That was probably the longest battle. Save third base. Experience drama. What a name. There's some great names in this game.
There are.
I'm still thinking about, were you there when I was talking about off the sauce? Changing all the dialogue and off so that it's about condiments?
I was not there for that. That sounds great.
It's delightful. I was talking about it with Jasper on Tumblr, and then I think we talked about it. It wasn't on an off stream. It might have been, I brought it up during, it might have been Leighton, but we basically decided that we could just change everything. So like, instead of the meat fountains, it's ketchup, and instead of plastic oceans, it's mayonnaise.
That sounds terrible. That
We
sounds
couldn't
gross.
we couldn't figure out what no, not meat, plastic and smoke would be, because those aren't really condiments. There's no like condiment equivalent to metal. It's not really a thing.
Yeah.
But
That's-
702. You can go to M1. But yeah, and then something about pepper steak, because pepper's already, it's kind of a condiment. I'd say that it's a condiment.
And you could, it's condiment adjacent with a seasoning.
Yeah, like I don't like it, so I think it counts because I don't like condiments and I don't like pepper, so I think that's
I
fine.
don't know condiments either.
Condiments are atrocious.
They're just
Oh, this is so nice.
medication.
Yeah, especially like your traditional condiments that are like sauces, like ketchup and mayonnaise. Like I don't mind
Yeah.
mayonnaise. It's okay, but only to make my hoagie bread not dry. I don't like dry bread when I have a hoagie. So that's the only time that I'll tolerate mayonnaise.
Yeah.
But
I used to work at a restaurant, kind of. It was like a pizza pub sort of place, and I had to refill dressing and ketchup, and
oh,
sandwich dressing was a terrible experience to have.
that sounds awful. I hate handling condiments.
Yeah, people don't know how to clean up after themselves, so there's
No.
always congealed ketchup
Oh,
and dressing on like the lids and stuff.
God. You're right though. Like it's so bad.
Restaurants are dirty, like gross. It's bad. Make horrible
Yeah.
food.
I can't even handle like cleaning up after my own house because my family likes condiments and they are terrible about them. Like there's just ketchup everywhere and I'm like, please, please, please leave me alone. I want to be happy. I want to have serotonin today, please, please.
Yeah, my family's not the great. It's mostly like my grandpa who isn't, but like when they eat at like the table, and then there'll be like our table has like it's not glass, it's like a plastic cover. It's not a cover either. I don't know. It's like a sheet of plastic that's over top of it because the table is wooden, and yeah, you don't want to get stuff on it.
Oh yeah,
Bad.
I've seen stuff like that.
Yeah, but like my grandpa is so bad about like after eating, like cleaning up like crumbs or like I don't know, like little spills or splashes, and I'm always like, can you please? I have to wipe the table down all the time. It's gross.
Yeah, that's terrible. These are the things that give me hives.
These are the things that give me hives. I remember.
Oh, this is strange. I love the funny sound that happens when I do this.
I will push rocks around.
Can I push two at once? No. I hate that sound. Jeez. I guess I would have to do this and then that. Here's a funny save point.
I do love to save my game.
I also love to save my game. This is interesting. I guess I can just do this now. And come over here. Oh wait, I can't go down there. I don't know why I did this. This is the only way up here though.
I wonder if these are like rocks or if they're supposed to be like pieces of metal.
I don't know. Hey, how am I supposed to get back?
Don't worry about it. I don't need to go back.
I need to go back. It's so very important to me that I go back. This is...
Uh-oh, that's not...
I don't know what to do about this. This is impossible. This is what's called a puzzle that cannot be solved. I'm gonna have to go back to the nothingness. I guess that's why this is here. Awesome. Here we go again.
I hate it when the puzzles reset when I'm in another room.
Yeah. I love his funny little walk. He walks so good.
Yeah.
What happens if I go this way? Oh, nothing.
Wow. Nothing.
Awesome, my favorite. Okay, so there's a pedalo somewhere. So somewhere in this zone, I can summon a pedalo and it'll go right there, and then I'll go get it. But I don't know where that is. Oh, I love a pedalo. They're my bestest, closest friends.
They're just a funny little guy.
Yeah. He's just chilling. He loves to swim.
He loves to swim so much. It's so good for him.
Swimming is his favorite, even. Okay, how on earth am I supposed to do this? I can... Nope, that doesn't make any sense. What in the world? Oh, you know what? I can do this. Yeah, we're good. 2 jokers.
Joker.
2 of them. And demons. I never understood what these are supposed to be.
They're just little guys.
I guess. Like, they're called secretaries, which doesn't tell you much, and they look like strange, malformed infants.
Are these secretaries too?
I think they're all secretaries. I can look. What are you? Secretary. Diabolical humanoid spirit. So they are... I don't like them.
Just little guys.
What was the attack? It was the metal attack, right? The metal attack that they didn't like. Save third base restores all HP. That's helpful. Save secret base, I think, healed everyone at once. But I can't do that yet. Special attack with average impact, low impact, plastic. I think it was plastic that they did not like. Oh yeah, that was big damage. I love to fight the funny guys. Alpha achieved level 16. Can I go this way? Why is there nothing over here? That's weird. Don't worry about it. Oh no. Messed that one up. I didn't realize that my momentum would make the stones move further. I need to take my time. There we go. Save again. Because I love to have my health points and confidence points restored. It's my favorite. And then this way. Alright. And now we walk this way.
I love his little strut.
It's such a good strut. It's like the kind of walk where I'm like, oh, Mortis Ghost probably just like threw this together because of how floppy he looks, but it's also my favorite.
Yeah.
I love to see his flop. Like, look at that. His elbow, like, goes backwards. Your elbow's not supposed to go in that direction, sir.
It happens.
Can I Go on the elevator. 2 pieces of golden flesh.
Tasty
It
treat.
doesn't seem to work. Tasty treat just for me. It's my favorite snack, golden flesh. Hey guys. They're having a Memorial Day party. Sun's out, guns out.
I love their little classes.
Yeah, they have the funny rims on the top. I don't remember what it's called.
I don't know.
Who's poison? Right. Okay. You. Today I got to eat a cake. It's my mom's birthday. It was chocolate cake with a I think it was strawberry whipped cream icing and strawberries.
Oh, hell yeah. I love
It
to
was
eat
very
strawberry.
good.
My mom made a cake today. I'm going to eat it later.
Love to eat a cake.
I don't know what she said it is, but I know it's lemon. And I think it's got custard.
Oh, I love custard. Hey, why is this just chilling? It's just hanging out. That's not interesting. Okay. It's like, I don't like it. Move on.
No, it's not interesting, but like, what is it?
Just tell me what it is better. Is this the Pizzala that I need?
Well, to summon a Padalo.
I wonder where it's gonna go. Okay, this is something, for sure. I guess... Where are we going? Are there secretaries out here? In the meat? I wonder if it's still meat. Or if it's not meat anymore because it's not red. Is that how meat works?
Well, it can be
Ooh.
It's not
Grand
good.
finale. Monday. What is a grand finale? I'd love to know.
That sounds so exciting.
A bizarre object associated with plastic. Aquarius card, Cancer card, Pisces card, Leo card. I don't have any of the other cards. I'm missing many cards. Unless, are the orbs part of that?
I think, yeah. I think the orbs and the cards are like, it's, yeah, you know what I mean.
Yeah. So I'm missing 2 cards then. I'm missing,
We're missing the Aries card.
Aries card. The Aries card I know how to get. The Aries card is you eat sugar. You eat sugar and then you give the item that you get from her to Zachary, and then he offers you a really good bat for the Aries card. But I think I'm missing a card. I don't think it's the card. Do you get a card at the end of the game? I don't remember what the cards are for. I don't remember what it does.
I don't remember either. But I think it's good to collect items.
So true. Hey, why is there a funny warning symbol on my stream? What does it say? Skip frames detected 25% over the last 2 minutes. Well, that is just something that happens.
Yeah, you're kind of crunchy on Discord. Your internet might be having its own moment.
I know what the problem is. It's because my laptop is on low power mode because it hates me. If it gets to low battery, then it just decides, okay, I don't want to work properly anymore. But it's okay because that's
better now. Yeah.
Yeah, that's always my cue when the brightness goes down and people start telling me that the stream is getting bad. Then I'm like, oh, that's right. I have to plug this thing in now.
Yeah.
I have a feeling that I'm not gonna be able to leave. Oh no, I can. Why is that in there? Oh, I want this. Oh, wrong button. 4 pieces of add-ons meat.
I love to find meat.
Meat is so good and healthy for me. Still thinking about when
just raw meat laying around and it's like, oh, this is great. I love to eat this.
This is dinner. The batter finds dinner. It's a comic about the batter finding dinner. He loves dinner. I guess I can't go to the right, so we're just gonna go this way. Oh boy, what is this? Is this the same as before?
Dinner, it is the batter.
Oh no. I don't know, does this go anywhere now? Or is this just endless walking and I'm being dumb?
Oh.
I hope that I'm not wasting my time. I feel like it should go somewhere. There should be a really cool item if I go the right way. But I have no idea what the right way is, because there's no indication that I'm going the correct or the wrong way.
If it's not telling you you're going the wrong way, then maybe you're going the right way.
All of those were guesses and they were all right.
45 years old.
Never made a wrong move in my life. I'm the freaking batter. I'm so good and so smart. I don't know what to do now. I can't take this with me. How am I supposed to get to where I was? I don't know what to do about this. Have to walk all the way back and figure out how to get over there. Because surely there is something amazing in that stairs. They wouldn't leave the stairs there if I couldn't go to them. You know? Like, they're not just gonna... It's definitely not, like, decoration. It can't be.
Well, it could be. Do you not have decorative stairs?
No, I can't say that I do. Most of my stairs are completely functional and have a purpose. But I guess some people might have decorative ones. Stairs that just kind of like hang out in the ceiling. Oh, I didn't know that I could do that. This is news to me. Could I have done this all this time? No. I think I am stuck now. So I cannot get back. So I guess I go back to the nothingness.
There you go.
And I can go back one more time to see if there's anything up here, but I doubt it. This game is so cool.
It's just one of them. It's by himself.
Just one. He's all by himself. His friend ditched him. They invited him out and then they didn't show up.
Oh no.
So sad. Yeah.
I hate to see it.
He was always taught in school there's safety in numbers, and then his friends didn't show up to train tracks.
This is so sad.
Please, I just want to go down there. There's nothing for me. I have nowhere to go. I guess I'll just go back. Off we go.
You wander around long enough, I'm sure that, I assume that if you wander around long enough, you can solve any puzzle.
This is true. If I simply keep walking, I can do anything. Wait, I don't want to do this. I want to save. Actually, no. I'll save in the next zone. We will go back to zone 3 and see what's happening. It's probably a whole lot of nothing. This is the way to over here. Do I still have to walk on the path?
I hope not.
No. Thank God.
Good, because
I probably would have cried. Especially without the funny lines on the ground. Color of Force? What is that? Color of Force. Ooh, that's good. Does anyone else need a color of Future? Oh. Nope. That's cool. Is this better? No. But that's a silent symbol. Why is this all the same? Same numbers. What the heck? Awesome. Okay. What is over here? Nothing down there. Go in these dormitories. Oh. Ooh, these ones are funny looking. I want to look at them. They're probably secretaries, but I'm gonna have a gander anyway. Yep. Weakness against plastic. Ooh, those ones make a different noise. They all make a different pitch. And I think that's cool. So cool.
So cool. I love their cool sunglasses and their cool nipples.
Thanks for that.
It truly is hot girl summer.
Yeah. This is 40. This better be worth it. Why are you poisoned? Don't do that anymore.
Don't do.
If I make it illegal to be poisoned, then he can't be poisoned anymore. And then I can be like, hey, stop that.
That's true.
No, please stay alive. I am begging on my knees.
Wake up.
Which one of these is asleep? Oh, this one.
Alpha taking a nap in the middle of the fight.
These ones are so... He's dead. Awesome.
Oh. Don't do that.
No.
I hate you, my life.
Honestly. I'm running out of... Oh, that was the first one. I'm running out of confidence. And now he's asleep. That's my favorite thing.
Oh God. Why are you asleep?
Why are you asleep? It's like that scene in Nemo. Please don't end my life. I would love for you to not do that. Oh my gosh. I don't know if we're ready for this area. We're definitely not ready for the boss. Please.
I think we need to kill more guys.
Yeah. Did I just attack when I should have made him not asleep? That's awesome. I love that. Hey, 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 hey. Don't do that. Oh, wait, now he's awake.
Epsilon should stop being dead. Bro, wake up. You're fine.
I need to
Not that
get...
bad.
Oh no, 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 no. I need to get more confidence. For you. And then I need you to not be dead anymore. And then I need you to also not be dead anymore. Awesome. We can worry about Epsilon later.
Epsilon is extremely dead.
He's very dead. He's not waking up for a little bit.
He's just having a nap. It's okay. It's okay if he does this.
No, please. And of course the add-on that I have that cures sleep is asleep. That's so cool. It's okay, now he can wake up for that, this game, man.
Video games are too hard.
Video games are very difficult. He's asleep again. What is this?
These bitches be taking naps.
Wake up. Why are you poisoned? Oh my god, no, 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 no. Hey, 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 hey. Don't
Wakes up from
be
my
dead.
nap and immediately becomes poison.
It happens. Don't do this to me. Don't do this to me. Please be dead. Oh my god. This is terrible. We need to go back to Zone 2. The secretaries in Zone 1 were fine. These ones are terrible.
Yeah.
We need to get strong.
Fights, we didn't do this bad.
No. This is abysmal. This is something else. Oh my goodness. Please, please, please. Are you serious? Okay. You need to wake up. Attack. Run with grace. This is scary. I'm not a fan of this at all.
That secretary came in killing me.
Zone 3 wasn't lying. That secretary can strong.
That secretary can strong. Why are you not dead? I think you should be not alive.
I would love for this thing to be not alive, and yet... Oh.
And yet
How are you okay? Omega is poisoned. Are you joking? And now the batter is asleep. And now he's awake. Oh, thank God. Okay. Awesome. We got a lot of experience, but we are hurting.
We are in
Joker.
pain. Epsilon is dead.
Okay. I don't want to use too many of those. We will save... Oh, I can only save first and second base. That's fine, I guess. I guess I'll do first. face. Cool. And then we will have some snacks.
Ooh, I love snacks.
So true. You need snacks as well. That should be fine. Jeez.
Boys' night. One hour
Boys'
and snacks.
Just eating raw meat with the boys.
Raw meat with the boys. Classics of activity.
This guy was here. What was he hiding? I guess he wasn't hiding anything. He was telling the truth.
Sure, are these beds? I thought they were shelves.
I guess they're like shelves, but they're supposed to be bunk beds, I think.
First time
My friend Zachary.
I thought they were stables, like for horses. I don't know why that's what I thought they were.
Of course, I heal, and then I find this. Great. Waste all my items and money, and then I find that. It's my favorite thing to happen. Are there no chests in here? No. There's a chest down there, but it's open. There's sugar in here. I'll bet you there's something going on in here. Yup, there's a chest right here. Tibia epidermis. Ooh. Is there a femur epidermis? Because the femur is the strongest bone. This one actually changes something. Awesome. And these should both have humerus epidermis. Yep. Awesome. Would love to see my friend Zachary. I have no idea where he is.
Zachary, please, I want to spend money.
I need to give him all of my money. No joke, I need to give him so much money. Ah. Oh no. I can flee, but I would like to get the experience, so I guess we're just gonna fight. There must be good competencies that I can attack with. Like, what do you have? Do you have anything that's plastic? You can inflict poison or considerable impact. Let's try that. Ooh, 720, that was sick. And this ignores their defense. Maybe that would be good. Yeah, that's pretty nice. What do you do? Multiple average impact. That's what that means? I could have been doing that the whole time. I didn't know Epsilon was good. Dang. Well, now I don't need that because there's only one of them. Increases an ally's intelligence. What does that mean? We could have been breezing through these guys. I didn't even know it. What am I doing? Hey, I was just gonna use him. Cool. That was so much easier than before.
Oh yeah.
This is what happens when you learn to play the game.
This is what happens when you, yeah.
Alright. Cool. And that was a waiter win, indeed. Is this where I can get to this left side? I believe it is, but I don't know how.
I want to go down the other front too, but please, I never asked before.
I have a feeling this will be blocked off and I can go left? No. If it makes me play the stupid game. Oh, thank God. That was like the bane of my existence.
His sprite, wow, that was real good.
He does a little starfish.
Yeah.
Okay. Now that we're so good at this game, we will just fly through these guys. It's gonna be awesome.
We're so good at breathing. We have
Check
the
this
strongest
out.
attack.
What can you do? This. And then you can do this, and it's awesome. No! Cool. That makes me so mad. Wait, who is? Oh, the batter. Oh, he's dying. Oh no, oh no.
Don't do that.
Cool. Ah. What an interesting attack. Division by 0. Oh no, I did the wrong one. That's so upsetting when I do that. Oh, those guys are beefy. We're getting mad experience though, that's awesome.
We're getting so strong and so powerful.
We're so strong. We're gonna heal you. I'm probably gonna see a freaking, healing box in like 2 seconds. It's fine. Better safe than sorry, as they say.
This is true.
Jump. Yep. Of course. Why am I even surprised? I'm not. Let's go. Let's go to question mark. Awesome. What is this? This is where I fought my friend. And these are all locked. I know this. I've been over here, but not over here. Because this side was blocked off from me.
I love to check doors.
Me too. It's definitely one of the activities of all time. Oh. Okay. If you say so.
If you say so.
I can't tell if the plastic attack is better than the special home run. The special home run is more confidence points, but we can find out. That missed. I didn't learn anything. Okay, no information. Oh wait, you're awake. Okay, that's more damage. I'm very focused on not misclicking. It's making me quiet. It's much easier when I know how to play the game. We are moving up the levels real quick.
Batter is getting so strong and so powerful.
This is good, I think.
Unlock your door, Zachary. You can't hide forever.
I wish he was up there. I think he's on this side up, but I don't think he's gonna be there, which is really sad because I like him so much.
Zachary leaving the batter on red. You hate to see it.
So sad. Like and subscribe.
Like and subscribe. Can we get 5,000 likes?
If this gets 10 likes or more, the batter will no longer be left on red. 10 screenshots and the batter will open his Snapchat.
Retweets and the batter will destroy all life on Earth.
No retweets later. Okay, I did it. Run with dementia. He's like, thanks to, and then he just tags like 5 accounts that aren't active. Just 5 inactive accounts and is like, thanks for screenshotting. One of them is like, hey, what are you talking about? And he's like, you. And that's it. He has no response. He doesn't know. He's just like, listen, I just wanted an excuse to kill everybody. It's fine.
I just wanted an excuse.
He says so directly on Twitter. He's like, yeah, I just wanted to kill everyone. It's fine. Don't worry about it.
I mean, I appreciate the honesty, I guess.
He's very honest. He's a religious man. He's very honest. Because we know that this matters.
I think he just be fucked up.
He acts like it, but yeah. I like this funny arrow.
He talks about like you know, oh, this is.
What is this?
This is normal.
This is very normal. I have a feeling I'm gonna come back up. Yup. Okay. What about this way?
I love to walk in a circle.
So true. This is proof that the world is not flat or something.
Yeah? The world is round.
The world is round.
You keep going one way until you end up back where you started.
This is how science and mathematics is. What is this?
I think geography is more accurate, but yes.
Now, I would like to know why grace is plastic and courage is metal and dementia is smoke. This is information that I would like to have.
Well, don't worry about it.
Don't even ask, dude. It's fine.
Don't even worry about it. It's fine. It's normal. It's okay. Don't need to ask questions.
Hey, I would like to... Wait, no. I'm going to continue doing the same thing that I was doing before because I don't think that would help me. I don't think attack affects, competencies. Does intelligence affect competencies? Is that what that is? Maybe I should try that after this guy is awake again. I think that might help him. Experience drama on Epsilon. There's a silver coward coin available and I can't get it. Oh no, oh no. Okay, is this this more damage. Not really. That did not help me. You need to wake up. The coin went unclaimed! I hate when this happens. Coward coin is the only thing I think about on any given day.
Yeah, me too. Coward
I love
coin,
coward
my
coin.
beloved.
Coward coin, my beloved, so true.
Coward coin is my best friend. Coward coin is everything to me.
I am coward coin everything. I'm his confidant. His right hand arm man.
It's silly rabbit.
Silly rabbit.
Does he
So
call
that
me
was no.
I love that video.
It's a good video. Okay, so this is cool because I can come back here and help myself to some healthiness, and then come back and fight more demons. This is a good and healthy thing to do.
I'm very scared of the infinite expansive light, but
it's infinite, but it's not at the same time.
No, it's they're on a small orb.
Gaussian blur. This is a term that I know. This one makes things look so good in Procreate.
I know this one. I know this one from digital art.
I do so much Krita, make my image look so blurry. It's my favorite activity. So add-on Omega is a camera. That's nice. I don't know why I didn't realize this before. It seems that way. Because this is all camera things. Or I guess digital art things. Digital art of all forms things. What is this then? Strings and brackets? Oh, that's coding, isn't it? This is a coding terms.
Wait, what? I wasn't reading the words.
Oh, that's okay. It's like, I'll go back to it in a moment. We all know that the batter is baseball. He loves the baseball so much. It's his favorite. He loves it. Omega has all camera and digital art terms, which is so cool and awesome. And then alpha, oh, this is epsilon. Epsilon is types of books.
This is the Shakespearean types of what's the word? Plays.
Yeah.
Theater, that's
which
the
is
word.
cool. And then alpha is all coding things.
Open bracket, I know that one. That's it.
I know what a string is. A string is many words that make a action in a computer. I don't know how to write one.
String with many things.
Wait, that's not what I wanted. What is this? Wait, yes it was.
String is on my shoe.
String is the thing that is on my shirt, and I don't like when it's there. Go away.
So true.
This game is so cool.
I love gaming.
Gaming is so good. I'm like kind of surprised at how competent I am at this game, because when I tried to play it in the past, I was like, oh dear, this is gonna end poorly. But it's actually not that bad.
This is true. With time, all things become easier.
So true. This is knowledge for me. I love to be learned. Hey, there's only 2 babies.
I love to know things.
Knowing things is definitely activity of all time.
This is
wrong
true.
one.
Knowing things is activity of it.
Yeah. These guys really don't like me. I can't imagine why. I am so nice and hospitable.
Yeah, I know. They're attacking me. That's when I stop.
I have no idea. Like, I didn't even do anything.
I didn't even do anything. They're trying to cancel the battle on Twitter. I didn't even do anything.
You didn't even do anything. This is so messed up.
They're saying you killed people. Yeah, well, so what? Like, I don't see what the problem is.
Like, do you have proof?
Do you have proof?
You're literally killing someone right now. But like, do you have receipts? Can you like show me where it happened?
It's that bad. I think it's okay if you kill people.
Yeah, it's fine. Cubist tragedy. I want to know what that is. But first, I have to heal again because I'm scared. I'm scared, little baby. Don't like to be not healed.
I love to heal. I hate when I take damage. I almost
Me
said
too.
I love to take damage.
I love to take damage. Taking damage is activity of all time. Top tier.
I love to take damage. Do it all the time.
It's good and healthy to take damage, I think. I love to see his eyes. They bob back and forth.
Love to fight these fashionistas.
Immediately after I said I love to see his eyes, the first thing that popped into my head was, that is his snout.
Wow. So true.
What is a cubist tragedy? Multiple considerable impacts. That's what I like to see.
Cubism, I know that one. That's Cubism. That's Picasso did that, I think.
I have no idea. I can't say that I am in the know about these things. Hey, I would love if you weren't poisoned.
Let me see, I'm looking up Cubism on Google. Please.
Please, please.
Well, I can say definitely there are cubes in this.
I'd say so.
Yes. I was right when I said Picasso. I couldn't remember if Picasso was the name of the guy. I don't know.
I know that it was like abstract, but I couldn't remember what cubism specifically was. I guess it's just taking cubes and moving them around.
No.
I do that in Minecraft.
I do that in my mind.
I rotate cubes in my mind.
I do.
And then I go, cube! And then I rotate them and dance.
This is so true. I remember Cubism was like Picasso kind of stuff, or it was that one artist who did like the colored squares. I don't think that's Cubism. I don't know what that is.
I don't know. Probably, I guess like minimalism? Is that an art form? Hey, what is this? One baby? Just one baby?
Just one. Just one of them. I think it's good if there's only one of them. They're scary.
I want to have so many babies. I want to attack all of these scary creatures that aren't human, and I don't like them. I don't even think these ones, they like don't have arms or legs. It's like they just have stumps, and I don't like them. But they have some sick, nasty glasses.
It's like holding its hands up, like to its chest, kind of.
Oh,
it's just,
I see.
Right, yeah, it's like not outlined well.
Oh, okay. That makes me feel a little better. Why was that one so weak sauce? What is this? I thought that this would be like the strongest area that I can fight them. It probably is. I guess I'll still heal. Because I'm still a baby.
It is cubism, kind of. I think you're lying to me. I don't think that's true.
I don't think that colored squares is considered the same level as Picasso. No.
These aren't even cubes, they're squares.
To be fair, Picasso's art doesn't include any cubes either.
He's a super famous painter.
Yeah. Not cubes though. 0 out of 10, no cubes.
And I wouldn't say that this is cubism.
I think we should write a formal complaint to the art museums of the world and tell them that this is not cubes. There are no cubes here. I came here for cubes and there isn't a single one.
Don't call it cubism if it's not a cube. You're lying.
Exactly. If you're not going to show me a cube, then why am I even here?
One of my favorite art pieces I've seen, there's a museum here. We have a lot of art museums in DC, like Smithsonian ones. And there's one called the Hirshhorn. It's a modern art museum, and they have this one piece. I don't know if it's still there, but it's a cube, and it's got water in it. Just a little bit. It's not full of water. It's just a little bit in the bottom. It's called the condensation cube. Literally, all it is it's made of like vinyl, I think. And it's just a cube, and there's a little bit of water in there. And
I like that.
Condensation on it.
I would like to meet the condensation cube.
It's good. It's supposed to be like art that's influenced by like its surroundings. You know, like it's a pot because there's a lot of people in there. There's more condensation because the water vapor is more. And if it's cold, less. You know, that sort of thing. Classics of modern art. You know, very
functional.
Very functional. Very, you know.
Modern artists be like, I made a thermometer.
Yeah, there's one. It's in it's not in Hirshhorn. Oh gosh, there's literally like 6 art museums, all like within walking distance of each other, and I cannot remember the names of all of them. It's across the street from the Portrait Gallery, and they've got like modern art like pieces. They're not like painted, they're like physical things. Actually, no, I think there's some paintings there. But like one of the things is like it was a piece of glass stuck onto a wall with I don't know exactly what it was.
I found a secret room.
Oh, I love a secret room.
Grand Spectral.
Blue. I don't know what it was. It might have been epoxy. And it looks like, you ever like, I don't know, I can't even describe exactly what it was. I don't know what it was trying to say either, but I know that there was a light above it that was blinking on and off, and it was like a really like old like light, so when it would turn on or off, it made a really loud like click, and it was the only sound in the room, and it made me feel insane. I was like, I don't know what you're trying to say here. I don't like that your art piece makes a rhythmic clicking sound that echoes through the whole room.
Yeah, that doesn't sound pleasant. I don't think I would like that at all.
Yeah. They have a really good one there, though, that is a giant blue rooster on the roof.
A rooster?
Yeah. I remember, like, I hadn't been there before, and I went with a friend, and someone who worked there said, like, oh, make sure that there's a rooster up on the roof you should go see, and I thought he was, like, making a joke. And I went out there, and lo and behold, there was a whole entire giant rooster up there, and I was like, oh yeah.
Just a whole rooster. I would like to see the rooster.
It's a good rooster.
I always think about, there was like that one post that's about modern art, and it's like, there was someone's art was like, it was literally just lettuce, and like the one security guard's like, sometimes I'm here when the artist comes to replace the lettuce. Like, that's so funny. You don't understand how funny that is.
I love that. I
Can you
wish
imagine?
I was the guard that got to be there when the person comes and replaces the lettuce.
Honestly, like you're just hanging out, having a good time, and this guy just shows up and he's like, "Oh hey, I'm replacing the lettuce." The guy's like, "Oh, don't touch that," and he's like, "No, no, no, I'm the artist. I have to replace the lettuce."
Like, this is my job. This is my lettuce. I'm allowed to do this.
I put this
There's
lettuce
nothing
here.
like
I can take it off.
going. There's nothing like going to a modern art museum, and a lot of them, the pieces they're not like behind glass or ropes. They have like sensors, and they'll have like usually they'll have like a line on the ground, but usually the floors are a light gray, and then it's a white line. So it's like a bit difficult to see, and if you go past it, an alarm will go off. There's nothing like accidentally stepping over that line and setting off one of the alarms and feeling like an idiot while the guard looks at you thinking you're trying to like steal it or something. I promise, I'm not doing anything. Not
I
doing
promise I
anything
didn't mean it.
I didn't mean it.
That's like weird though, because why would you make it so that you can't see where you're not allowed to go?
I mean, you can. There's like indications on the ground, but it's easy to accidentally step on them and set off the alarms. It's okay.
This makes sense.
It's normal. It happens all the time. Legitimately. Most of the time it's kids doing it though, and sometimes it's because they're trying to touch the stuff. But
I'm very happy about the amount of experience that I'm getting, but I'm worried for when I get to the point where it doesn't level me up every time that I fight something.
We have so much experience. We're soul powers.
True, we've already gone up 10 levels.
Fuck yes.
And it's only been an hour and a half. So that's nice.
I should send you a picture of my all-time favorite art piece that I've seen. I can't remember what the name of it is, but it's literally like a sculpture of like a naked old guy sitting in the corner looking kind of upset. And it's a big, like, it's a huge thing, and it looks incredibly realistic. And a lot of people really don't like it. I love it so much.
Feel free to send it in the text chat in the Discord.
Let me see if I can.
I will absolutely look at this.
I think all the pictures I have are kind of old, so it's gonna take me a bit to find them. But like, it's not even like the way the museum is built. There's like an elevator, or not an elevator, an escalator in the center, and then there's like different rooms off to the side, which is where most of the art pieces are. But this one is not there. It's in a corner outside of those. So it's like he's just chilling out here. He looks like he got told like, no, you're not allowed to be in the room with the art pieces. You have to sit out there.
They probably kicked him out because he was naked.
They kicked him out because he was naked. Yeah, he's kind of naked. Like, he is very naked. Okay, just don't look. Oh, I actually found a picture. That didn't take as long as I was expecting. He's literally just a guy.
He's just a dude.
He's just a dude. He's just sitting there. He's chilling.
He's just hanging out, you know? He's having a good time.
He's having a good time. Well,
let me know when you've sent it so that I can have a look.
Yeah. Just give me a second. I'll send it.
Magic home run. What is that?
Oh, you love to see it.
It's a magic home run. The batter is a magical batter, and he has a magic home run.
It's a magic home run.
I wonder what a home run is called in French. What is the French term for a home run? Because they really don't play baseball in Europe. Like, it's not a thing.
I would imagine if they don't a baseball, they probably just say home run, but
Yeah, maybe.
French accent.
I don't know. Cause like they have a lot of baseball in America and in um Central and South America, and they have a lot of baseball in Korea and Japan. And that's like it. Like there's no baseball in Europe. It's not a thing. What is this? Considerable intact. Oh, that's wonderful. Oh, you love to see it. What? Why did that not wake him up?
I sent some pictures in the text chat.
I will have a look in one moment. As soon as this guy leaves me alone.
As soon as we kill this rude baby.
As soon as I end his life. Okay. This is so funny. I feel like this would be really uncomfortable to see in real life. But in picture, it's very funny.
He is very funny. It's also like, it's like so well made. It's
This
scary.
is a man. Like, I can't say that this is like a sculpture.
Like a guy.
Like he's very colored. Like he doesn't look like he looks very yellow. Like he looks like he's made out of something that is not flesh, but also he does look like he's made out of flesh.
Oh yeah,
it's kind of scary.
It's even more like the lighting definitely makes him look kind of yellow. He just looks sickly and old.
Yeah.
But like in person, like you can see like the veins beneath the skin, and you can see like the wrinkles on his knuckles. It's
Michael saying hi. So sorry.
So sorry.
It's I feel like his feet make me more uncomfortable than
his feet are
his other parts.
Yeah, the way his like
bitter.
Yeah.
Oh. Thank you for sending that though. That is sculpture.
It is very sculpture. Yeah. I don't know if he's still there. I think I haven't been there in a long time.
Well,
because
museums tend to like move things around, right? Like they.
Oh yeah, I mean
they kind of borrow things.
Yeah, a lot of the art is borrowed, and a lot of things get like replaced and switched out, especially at like those kind of like it's not a like the portrait gallery, things don't get swapped out too often, and like the history museums, there's a lot of like permanent exhibits, but that one there's a lot of like installations that are there for like a month and then they're gone and the next one comes in. But that one was there for at least a couple years. I think last time I went to look at what installations they had currently and what ones were coming up, I think they said that they were getting rid of him, and I was like, you better not.
Oh no.
I love him so much. That's my
That makes
friend.
sense though, that they would switch things around. Especially at like when they have different, what are those called, like exhibitions? Different like groups of art.
Yeah, a lot of them are like, some of them are interactive and a lot of them are like, I don't know, like they're not, I don't know how to explain it. Like one of the ones I went to, it was like they were like these glass boxes and they had like sculptures and things inside of them. Like some of them were pumpkins, other things were like stuff made out of fabric, and some of them were like lights, and it was supposed to look like you go in and it's just like this infinite field surrounding you, and like a lot of them are kind of like interactive in that way. And there was another one where they literally take like a scan of your thumbprint as a part of the exhibitions. So, those ones, they don't stay forever because, things break down,
Yeah.
But yeah, there's
That's
like a lot of things.
strange.
Yeah. And there's a sculpture garden right across from that building that's like also like it's part of it. It's called like the sculpture garden, like the Hirschman sculpture garden. And I don't
Oh.
think anything there ever like gets replaced.
I haven't been to many museums in general, especially not art museums. I've been to like as a kid you go on a field trip with like your elementary
Yeah.
school. But like that's pretty much it. I feel like I should go to more art museums. There's a lot of art in the world that I would like to see.
Yeah. I mean, I'm very like lucky when it comes to like museums and like things to do, like living so close like the capital. So like we've got a ton of museums around here, but like most places don't have, like three
Yeah.
dozen museums within like an hour away.
Yeah. I definitely wish I had like more time back when I was living in Philly to have gone to those things because Philly has so many museums of natural science and regular science and art and other art. It's like crazy, and I just didn't go to any of it.
Yeah, I would love to go to like see like other museums that aren't, the ones I've already seen.
Yeah, true.
Because eventually it's like, okay, I've seen all they have. I mean, unless it's one that like switches out uh exhibitions and stuff like that. But I go to like the Natural History Museum, like it's been the same stuff since I was a kid. So I go there and it's like,
Yeah.
I've seen all of this, a million times in the last
This one,
20
I know
years.
it.
Yeah, I can close my eyes and I can walk through the museum in my brain pretty much. But it's like it's a nice place to go to just chill. I mostly like most of the time when I go there now, it's like I'm hanging out with friends and we're like, oh, why don't we just go here?
Yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah, it's nice because they're also free, so I don't have to pay money to go there. I want them to let
uh,
me into the basement. I want to see the forbidden items.
true. That's the real stuff that you gotta be seeing.
Yeah, because like I mean, at least for the Smithsonian, especially like while they do like part of their stuff is like educating people and like showing people like, oh, here's this and that. Like a lot of it is also like storing things for
Yeah.
research and like my grandpa he used to do like paleontology, so he'd go out and like dig up fossils and stuff. And he said like you go into basements and there's just like a bunch of old guys on like rolling chairs and like to save electricity, like the lights are not always on, so they just have the lights on where they are. So it's just dark and there's just a couple of lights on. There's just old men hunched over drawers in the dark looking at
Awesome.
things like man, that's I want to do that.
I'm gonna say that sounds like the life, but a little
It
odd
does sound
if you're not
weird.
part of it. I just messed that up. Oh jeez.
I think they should let me see the drawers they have with the bugs in them.
True. I always see those in like TV. Never get to see them in real life.
This is true. They have like a nice exhibit there with like live bugs, and every so often these two nice old ladies come with a cart with bugs in jars and they let you hold them.
It's kind of fun.
They're like, you come here and hold this cockroach right now. I'm like, yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Right away, ma'am.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm not good with bugs when they're in my space. Like, if I don't know that there's a bug there and then there is, I'm like, oh god, oh no. But bugs are
Yeah,
cool,
yeah.
like, by themselves.
I enjoy an insect. I had a friend who I took there. He was visiting from out of state, and so I was like, "Oh, here, come, you go here." And he was like, "Oh, I don't really like bugs." And then the lady was like, "Here, do you want to hold this?" It was a hissing cockroach. And the
Oh,
lady was like, "Oh, her name is Martha. She's very sweet." And my friend held her and was like, afterwards was like, "I miss Martha so much." And I was like, "Yeah." It's
that's
like
how
I
you
thought I
get
didn't
them.
like bugs. Like I thought I didn't like bugs, but I like Martha.
The only bug that I respect is Martha.
Yeah, he like at one point like he was holding like two of the cockroaches, and I think he had a tomato hornworm and a grasshopper. And I was like, dude, you're like hoarding all of the bugs. We're like surrounded by like little children, and I'm like, you're like hoarding the bugs. The kids would like to hold them too.
That's so good. Converted.
Shove all the kids out of the way. Like, no, it's my turn.
Martha might be over there. I must get there at once.
Martha could be over there, please. I think about Martha every day.
Martha, my beloved.
Martha, my beloved.
We're getting stronger. We're finishing these guys in like 5 hits.
You love to see it. I love when I can kill and destroy my enemies so swiftly.
It's very good to be an efficient killer when you are killing.
It's good to be an efficient killer. Me when I play Dead by Daylight.
Oh, Dead by Daylight. Think about Dead by Daylight so much.
Debbie's Delight.
Debbie's Delight is one of the games that Mercury has that I can play now because Mercury has shared their library with me on Steam.
I think I would like to play the funny game of Killers of Rivers someday. I wonder if I wonder if my computer would enjoy that. Like, my computer's not that bad, but like when I got it, I was like, I'll just be using it for digital art, so it doesn't need to have that much RAM.
That's what
And I'm like,
I
oh.
did.
And now I'm like,
When you
oh,
guys were helping me with the computer, well, I guess you guys doesn't really, because it wasn't you, I don't think. It was
it
like
was mostly
Lynn and
Mercury.
Mercury. Yeah. They were like,
Yeah, I don't know anything about
oh, like,
computers.
what are you looking for? And I was like, well, the closest thing I get to gaming is I play GBA ROMs. And they were like, oh, then you can get this one. And then freaking Lynn gets me into Genshin Impact.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh no, I need RAM, oh no. But now she runs oh so smoothly.
I would love to see it. I should get more RAM so I can do things. The other day I was trying to like I was like using this brush in Krita, and like I've never had this problem with anything that wasn't Photoshop, but it was like every time I tried to use the brush it lagged so bad, and I was like, oh, this isn't good. My CPU usage is at 100%. I was like, oh, this isn't good. This good to bad happening.
Yeah, this is no good. Oh,
But
that
my
didn't end him.
CPU when it's at 100%.
It happens. I play Genshin, my CPU goes so far, so much.
Turn on my shaders in Minecraft.
I could probably play Minecraft with shaders now.
So I cannot leave the shaders on. Well, it doesn't lag it that bad actually, but it does like
You can feel the
it looks nice.
effects.
Yeah, well, it's like atmospheric. It's like it's pretty, but then you go mining and it's so dark.
Yeah, that makes sense. Seeing the greenhouse with the shaders though, like ended me. I was like, this is beautiful. I want to see it all the time. I'm rotating
Yeah,
this image in my mind.
rotating in my mind every day,
Every day.
every day.
It's so good to look at.
It is. I love I love my funny texture pack. I love that it makes everything bearable.
Yeah, it's a good
Like
texture pack. I like it a lot.
it is. I didn't realize like yesterday. when Sam and I were building the hotel where we were gonna put all the villagers, I was like, oh, like what kind of wood should we use? And we were like, oh, we're gonna use like some like a darker wood, and I was like, okay, well, jungle wood. And then Sam was like, oh, I don't really like jungle wood. It doesn't look right. And I was like, oh, like I wonder if it like looks different in vanilla, because like with Mizuno's, it's like a dark brown, and it's like a nice color. And then I looked it up, and like normally it's like oak with a pinkish tinge, and I was like, oh, that looks bad. I'm
Yeah,
glad that's
it's
not what
not
it looks
great.
like to me.
Yeah, at this point, the Mizuno's is like, this is just how Minecraft looks in my brain.
Yeah.
I don't I don't know Minecraft vanilla. I don't know her anymore.
Friendship ended with no texture packs. Now
Now
memes
texture
knows.
packs are my best friend.
Now texture packs are my best friend. I like that it makes the like armor. It makes it. It's cute. Looks
Yeah,
nice.
the diamond armor is really nice.
Yeah, I like that the diamond helmet is like a little crown. It's cute.
Yeah, and it's like a little achievement you get, like, oh, you got the best armor in the game, have a crown.
Yeah. And then the netherite armor looks nice too. It's got little ram horns on the side of it, which I like because
Oh, I
she.
like that.
Yeah, it
That
doesn't
is
actually look
good.
any different than vanilla. There's some textures that are like the same, and then there's some that aren't changed all that much.
I just realized the people on Twitch that are watching right now can't see. They don't see your usual Sona because you're just Gromit.
Yeah, I'm baby Gromit. It's important that I'm baby
Baby
Gromit.
Gromit is so cute though. This is
Gromit is
okay.
so cute. I love to see baby Gromit. Cute little guy. When I switched my profile picture, one of my friends, like, he messaged me. He's like, Gromit. I was like, hi, yeah.
Yeah, that's
I see
me.
you notice. I see you notice my Gromit, my baby Gromit profile picture.
Baby Gromit.
Baby Gromit. Gromit deserves better. I hadn't watched like Wallace and Gromit since like middle school, and my goodness, I rediscovered Wallace and Gromit. I
I
remember now.
hadn't seen it before, and I was like, oh, they're watching that weird British claymation movie that I don't know anything about. And I was like, oh, I'll tune in for a little bit and just see what it's about. But I didn't tune in right away because I was making the poll on the Discord, and I was like,
Yeah.
oh, I'll tune in for a bit and see what's going on. And I was like, this is incomprehensible. I don't know what's happening. It's like this
The
man, he
Helen
has
Gromit
robot
thing.
pants. Why does he have robot pants?
Were you there when we watched like the scary live action skit?
Yeah, I didn't like
That was
that.
bad. I didn't like that at all.
I was
Welcome
literally
to
just like,
British FML.
I was trying to watch it, and the first thing I get to is Wallace is in his house, and his pants are walking away for some reason, and I was like, okay, this is weird. The weird thing is
There
why.
really wasn't any more context for that. It was like a birthday gift he got for Gromit, who was going to take him for walks. And
But it
then
was just
there's
so weird. It was like, why is he yelling to Gromit that his pants are taking him away? Does Gromit make
well,
the
you
pants?
see, so there was this evil penguin that came to live with them in the spare room, and the penguin whipped the bad guy, and he wanted to use Wallace to rob a museum, I guess, and so he made him suck in the pants.
Is
This
that what
makes
that
sense.
was? It was a
Yes,
museum he was trying to rob?
I assume
Uh,
so. It was a museum. I don't know. There's like a dinosaur skeleton in there.
oh, that makes sense then.
Yeah,
Yeah,
honestly,
I
that was
couldn't comprehend
you.
anything.
You didn't miss anything that made it any less strange. To be fair, it's kids media, so
That's fair.
it's funny. It's funny, silly.
It's supposed to be a little wacky, a little incomprehensible for the kiddos.
A little silly, funny, wacky. There's a dog. Love Gromit. My best
Look,
friend.
funny penguin. He run around.
I don't like the funny penguin. He's evil and he's mean to Gromit. My friend Gromit.
The only
He stole
scene that
his
I remember
food.
that I understood what was happening was when he was walking on the ceiling and he stopped right in front of the like the tripwire laser thing, and he waited for him to yawn so that his arms would get out of the way. I liked that so much.
Yeah. That whole like I guess it was a short. It still wasn't like a full length movie, but it wasn't really an episode of anything. That whole thing was just Gromit gets bullied. That's just the whole thing was him and bad things happening and people being rude to him.
So mean to Gromit.
One of the first thing that the first things that happens is so you find out it's his birthday, and so Wallace goes to give him a birthday gift, and he bought him a collar and a leash, and it's like, bro, that's
You didn't have a collar and a leash for your dog?
Well, he's not even he's not his. I guess he's technically his pet, but he's a whole as a whole guy. He knits sweaters and he makes
Gromit does?
breakfast. Yes. He lives in a bedroom and stuff. He walks on two legs sometimes, he can read. And then he's like, here, I got you a collar and a leash. It's bro,
that's so a little messed up.
It's kind of messed up.
I have a confidence to replace the Joker now.
Why would you replace the Joker?
If I run out of Jokers, I guess. Well, I hope that I never run out of Jokers.
I hope I never run out of the Joker.
Pro gaming tip: when you're trying to go down, try pressing the down button instead of the left button.
I'll try that.
It could be helpful. I'm not a professional, so I can't say for sure.
That might be worth checking out. I might have to try that out sometime.
Oh, why did I do that? You are poison.
Oh my goodness, I found the pictures of the condensation cube and its plaque.
I enjoyed the condensation cube and I would love to meet it. Is it made of glass? Did you say it was glass?
It's not glass, I think it's acrylic. Actually, I think it says it's plastic, yeah.
I like that. I want to have a condensation cube in my home.
Too. I'd love to have a small one. This one was kind of was around 2 feet. I send funny pictures so you can look.
I'm a big fan of how easy these battles have gotten. Oh, I hate when I am asleep and poisoned.
I hate when I'm asleep and I'm poisoned. It happens all the time.
It's the worst. I don't like it one bit. Cool. Now I look at funny picture. Oh, I like this.
Yeah.
Oh, this is lovely. Hey, why is my mouse doing a funny thing? Put me in there. So true. I like this. True. I want to just sit near this.
Yeah, I like it. I don't know. I love to see clear plastic with water in it. It's an underrated experience.
So I can shed my skin properly, Michael. Michael? Oh,
Michael needs to shed.
it's very
Well,
important
no,
to shed your skin properly. Ooh, complete string. I'd love to know what that is.
Yeah.
So it can be so much damage just from me. I thought this was going to be like a boring stream, but it's actually quite exciting to see what all of these upgrades are.
It's so fun to get so strong.
I love to get strong. This means that, I guess after this stream is over, we can fight Sugar, who is the hardest boss in the game.
Is that true? I didn't remember that.
Incredible impact? How incredible are we talking? Oh, that is incredible.
I love to do incredible impact.
He's done. This man is deceased, and I am asleep.
Man, looking at these pictures from art galleries is making me wish when I could go outside and do things.
Yeah.
Also making me miss when I have pink hair.
Cool. Oh, that's good. Multiple perspectives. Getting so strong, so buff. I love to be buff and strong.
I love to be so strong in powers.
So true. Look at these stats. Ugh, that's so good.
I have so much experience for so strong. We can kill anybody ever.
Anybody ever, except Sugar. We are not strong enough for Sugar.
No one's ever
We'll
strong
have to
enough
do her
for
first,
Sugar.
though, because we can't come back. So Sugar will be the quote-unquote final boss, and then the actual last boss will be after that. Which means we have to get to maximum level. Which doesn't seem like it's gonna take much longer.
We're strong now. We can do anything.
Yeah. I mean, we've done almost 20 levels in 2 hours. That's crazy.
Really? I hadn't been that hadn't registered in my brain.
Multiple perspective also revives a person. That's great.
I love when I can revive people.
Yeah. Oh, that's so good. Look at that. We are efficient killers.
Become efficient killers.
Unrevocable drama. What is that?
When you get canceled on Twitter.
No. I can't stop looking at the batter's snout.
The batter's snout. Yeah.
I know that it's his eyes, but knowing about the secret ending, it's not really a secret, but it's called like the bonus ending or something. Knowing about that and seeing his sprite move like that, that's his snout, for sure.
That's his nose.
We just keep on gaining levels. We are so good. Who keeps knocking? I'm trying to think of other topics to talk about. We talked about many things in a very short amount of time.
It's good to do this.
So true. We talked about museums a lot, and the art in those museums. I guess most of it was related to that. Still good to talk about, though.
It's a good thing to talk about.
Yeah. No. How dare you put him to sleep? He's just sitting there. Batter achieved level 32. Oh wait, he's awake now. Did I send the stream announcement? I don't remember. I think I did.
Did you? I don't remember.
I don't remember. There? No, I did.
Oh, okay.
I'm just
I didn't remember.
feeling.
I don't know.
Feeling a little wacky today.
This is
My brain is very tired today. Spent the past 2 days with people. People are so difficult.
True. People are draining.
Yes.
Tired.
People make me so tired. Not because they're bad people. I was with very good people today. We had a lot of fun.
Sometimes it's just there's people and it's like, I've done activity and I've thought things and I've had interactions and I was so tired.
Pretty much. It's just like, well, it's sleep time now. Let's go to bed. Oh, I wanted to do the other creature. This is fine. I'm glad that it's the 4th off stream and I finally figured out how to use confidence as well. I've only been playing the game for 4 weeks. Big fan of the sound that happens when you find an opponent.
Yeah.
It goes,
it's a good sound.
Shing.
It does.
Which is funny because it's like the sound of, like if you were to pull a sword out of its sheath in like like one of those movies.
Yeah, that's to be.
But he does not have a sword, he has a bat, and bats aren't supposed to be made out of metal.
His bat is metal, it's made of iron, I think.
Yeah, I think so, which would make sense.
There's aluminum bats. I think, don't they usually use aluminum bats? I don't know.
Not usually. They're not allowed in most things. Usually use composite, which is like a, combination of things, as the name suggests.
Wow.
So like it'll be made out of fiberglass, forgetting like every ingredient in a composite bat. But and thinking the major leagues you can only use wooden bats because of the safety issues. Because big dudes with bats that are made to hit balls far will hit balls super far and then they will hurt people.
Well, I think it would be so cool and funny if they did that though.
Yeah, I think they did it just because of the safety, and also baseball would be quite boring if the whole game was guy shows up and hits a home run, and then a guy shows up and he also hits a home run. Which already happens with the wooden bats.
I think they need to hit more home runs. I think I've never watched baseball in my life except for one baseball game that I got to go to for free. And I think if they hit more home runs, it would have been so cool.
This is true. This is actually how sports evolve.
Yeah. I don't remember anything about that game except that I got popcorn and cotton candy and I played Cookie Run on my phone.
That's the best thing to do. Cookie Run is so good.
It is. Oh, it hurts. Cookie Run.
I
I was
had
also
to stop
super.
playing Cookie Run because I was doing it too much, and my brain was so focused on gotchas that I had to do something else.
I got like all of my cookies were super high level, and I had a lot of like. Is legendary the right word? The real good cookies. I was so far in the game and all of this stuff, and then I like I think I like deleted the app because I was like it would save the like all my like save data so I could re-download it later because I was running out of room on my phone, so I was like whatever. And then I don't remember like if I got a new phone or like if I just it was just I don't know a long time before I re-downloaded it, but I re-downloaded it. It didn't have any of the stuff that I used to have. All of my like save data was gone, and I was like, I'm never playing this game ever again. There's no point.
I've done that exact thing. I was like, oh yeah, like it saves my data. Like it said so. It'll just delete the app and the data will be fine. I'll just get rid of it.
I've done that before too, where I deleted Cookie Run and then re-downloaded it, and it was fine.
Yeah,
It didn't
and then it's just
all that
gone. Like
time.
what? This has happened to me with multiple games. I'm trying to remember
Yeah,
which one it was. I was playing the one that I can remember was Magikarp Jump, which is an official Pokemon Company game.
yeah.
That game is so good, and
I had that
I
for a
deleted
while.
it. And I'd been really far. Like I probably had almost all of the patterns that were out at the time of the Magikarps. And then I was like, oh, this game is boring right now, but I'll come back to it in the future. And I never did. And then,
Yeah.
like, a couple years later, I was like, oh, I remember this game. I'll play it. I did there was like that save feature within the game. I was like, oh yeah,
Yeah.
I'll just type in my password. It turns out that you had to log into the password every time that you wanted to create a save. So when it made me make my account, it just saved the first like 5 minutes of my gameplay.
Oh
So
no.
I loaded it and it was like my first fish with like he had been fed like 4 orange berries and I was like, this is so bad and I'm going to cry now. And then I never
Yeah.
touched the game again.
I deleted it and I don't like I played it often, but like I feel like if I lost all of my save data, like I feel like I don't have any reason to like re-download it, you know? Like
That's literally
so
what
this
I
is
did. Like
okay.
if I had my save data, I probably would have downloaded it and continued to play it for another like 6 months before deleting it again. Instead, I was
Yeah.
just so like irreparably devastated that I just never touched the game ever
Yeah.
again.
I don't delete apps off my phone anymore, and I just offload them. Well, actually, sometimes I delete them if I'm like, okay, I'm never ever gonna want to touch this ever again, or if it's like something I never used. But like,
Yeah,
if it's something I'm like, okay, I have a lot of progress in this, and if I ever want to come back to this and it's all gone, I'll shit myself. So I just offload the data. I still have
yeah.
Cookie Run, and I like played a little bit more, you know, but like all my cookies are gone, man. I don't think you can like because I had certain ones that were like from events.
Yeah,
Can I get them again? Like,
they probably do like what's that called? Like
yeah,
reruns of events.
yeah. I think they do things where like they'll have like it's a different event, but like it's for the same cookies. So like
Yeah,
it's like and Cookie Run is one of those games where it's like if you didn't get into it early, there's just so much there now that it's like you can't
yeah.
ever catch up. So after I lost all my stuff, I was like, no, I'm never doing this. Never gonna play this game ever again.
And it's funny because like the reason that I downloaded Cookie Run in the first place, I didn't know about the hype. I didn't know that the game was like super big like it is now. This was like I want to say 2018, 2019. And like I didn't know about the hype, so I was like, the only reason I downloaded it was because I had played the original Cookie Run as a kid on my iPod. I had like Cookie Run Oven Break by Dead Sisters, or yeah, them, and I was like, oh, I love that game, and I tried to find it, and all I could find was this Cookie Run, Endless Runner. I was like, I don't know, is this the same? And I got it, and it was not the same, but I loved it, and it was so fun.
It's like, cause I like was there when they like did that like the change. It's like it's the same game. They just changed a bunch of stuff.
Yeah, like they made it more like it was still an
More
arcade,
gotcha
but it was
game.
yeah. Because
That
originally
so
I really liked the original. Like the only characters you could get was the regular cookie, the girl cookie that is now like the cherry themed cookie.
oh no, I think she's like the
Oh no, wait, not that one. The regular, the
okay.
other girl. She's just a regular cookie. And
Oh,
the
yeah.
strawberry cookie and the one cookie, it looks like the penguin from Hello Kitty. I don't remember what it is. He's like a do you know what I'm talking about? I can't remember what he is. I can
know
see like
Maru the penguin. I don't know what cookie you're talking about. Are you talking about a dark chocolate cookie?
I don't know.
They don't.
I don't remember. I have no idea. There was a
Mm.
cookie that reminded me of the penguin from Hello
Oh,
Kitty,
are you
but
thinking of Tuxedo Sam or Boss Maru? There's two Hello Kitty penguins. Are you thinking the blue one or the black one?
the black one.
Oh, then I have no idea who you're talking.
I don't remember. He's got like
I don't remember it.
oh, I don't remember. I'd have to look it up, but I'm feeling lazy. I don't want to. But in any event, there was only 4 cookies that you could have, and they were all like the cookies that are the very basic cookies that you get now in the game.
Yeah.
The strawberry cookie was my favorite, the one with the funny little hoodie.
She's so cute, yeah.
And there were no pets, there were no gotchas. It was just you got a certain amount of gummies, and then you bought them, and then you had them, and it was awesome.
I joined like right before Lemon Cookie. I think that was just after Midnight Cookie and Sea Fairy Cookie had been added, I think, and maybe Dark Enchantress had been added recently too. I don't know. But like just before then, and I kind of stopped playing it when like it was Marshmallow Cookie who performed. She's like got a little like band uniform. She's got cute pigtails. And then like I deleted the app around the time Big Cookie came out because I was like, I'm not touching this game. Like I haven't touched this in months. So
yeah, that's the thing that I did too, because with those games that are like, oh, log in every day and then get like a chest with these things in it, like I will log in every day, and it'll be part of my routine. Like I will wake up and I will open that game and I will play it for 30 minutes, and then I will go about the rest of my routine. And that is just how I am.
My friend
and it was bad.
Used to like every morning, like in high school, like we would get to like we'd show up, you know, like before class started, and we'd like sit in the library and we would do our like daily stuff in Cookie Run.
Honestly, that is like, it's so bad. It was so bad for me.
And then in my first class, I would do my Skullgirls dailies. And then I usually near the end of the day, I would do the ones for Animal Crossing Pocket Camp. And then my senior year,
that game.
Neko Atsume, so I would do those. I had
Neko Atsume was the one game that everyone was hype about that I could never get into. I could not get into Neko Atsume.
I never, like, when it was a big, like, when the hype was, like, big, I didn't play it. But I got it afterwards. Like, there was a period of time where, like, in my, like, senior year, where, like, I had, like, a lot of stuff going on, and I was like, I need constant distractions, or I'm going to explode. So I had a lot of just, like, I don't know, like just games that you could just play
Yeah.
whenever, or things that like required you to do stuff, so I would have things to do. So like I had Neko Atsume and like Animal Crossing and stuff like that, and I would like play those like constantly.
I remember when the Animal Crossing Pocket Camp game came out, and me and my sister were going nuts. We were like, "Oh my god, there's a mobile Animal Crossing game! Can you believe it?" Because like Nintendo had just started doing that. We were like, "Oh my
Yeah.
god, there's a mobile game! We've been playing this game since we were like 10, and now there's a mobile game." And we were going crazy. And it came out on like Christmas or something because we were playing it on Christmas. And I just remember being so disappointed in the game. Like, I played it a lot when it first came out, and I was just like, this is not what Animal Crossing is.
Yeah.
Nothing about this is Animal Crossing.
It was actually the first Animal Crossing game I ever played. I didn't even like when it had first come out. I was like, I have no interest in this because like I didn't play Animal Crossing as a kid. Like I didn't have a lot of games when I was a little kid because like we couldn't afford them, so I just didn't play games. I don't know what I think I watched my dad play like games like on the Xbox, and I was like, this is all I need. This is what I do.
This
Like
is
I don't need to
gaming.
play this, but like this is gaming. Like I love video games. No, I don't play them. See, that's why this is why I watch Twitch streamers now. I was raised to watch other people play video games.
That's what I did, though. Ever since I was very, very small, I've been watching my sister play computer games. I watched my sister play the crap out of Freddy Fish 2, The Haunted Schoolhouse, and also Pajama Sam 2, Thunder and Lightning Aren't So Frightening.
Oh my gosh. I would play computer stuff on the computer. I played like I remember Plants vs Zombies the most. I played that one all the time,
Oh,
and like I would
yeah.
talk to myself when I played that game, and then I wasn't allowed to use the computer because my dad would get mad at me because I talked too much when I played. He'd be like, "You can't play that. You need to shut up."
Oh my god.
Which it's okay. I don't know. I can't even remember. Like the only game I ever remember watching him play was Batman Arkham Asylum, and that's why I'm insane and fucked up. And that's why I loved Batman for the longest time. Like I was super into it, and like I never read any of the comics, but like that was my shit. I never played other games that I watched them play. Like, I remember playing like SSX and like Portal. I remember once I played Portal and I almost threw up. I got motion sickness in Portal, which is the only time I ever got motion sickness, was because was playing Portal, and I was like, okay, maybe this is not the game for me. It's fun to watch other people play, but I feel like I'm gonna throw up.
Honestly, that's like, yeah, there's a lot of games that I can watch people play, but I couldn't play myself. Not because of motion sickness, but because of content. Like,
Yeah.
when I was between, I guess, 9 and 13, I watched the hell out of horror RPG games, including Off.
I love that stuff.
I watched people play Ib, The Witch's House, Mad Father. Like, I watched all those games, and I loved them. Freaking Corpse Party, the second one that was like that. All those games. And then, like, now, like, Lynn's having the, Omori, being like, oh, you gotta play Omori. The thought of playing a game like that now as an adult makes me sick.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know how I stomached any of that as a child.
I didn't watch any of those games, which is fucked up, because those were like the classic, not like classic, but like, you know what I mean? Like, when you talk about like indie, like horror RPGs, like that's the games. And, like,
Oh, absolutely.
I really need to watch playthroughs of them, because I know I'd like them.
They're so good.
Really into them. But like,
I
watched my dad
highly
play
recommend.
Silent Hill. I watched my dad play Silent Hill, and that was like that was the shit. Man, actually, no. At first, I had heard of Silent Hill because like my dad's a gamer, he plays video games all the time, so like I knew what Silent Hill was because he'd talk about it and stuff. I was like I knew of it, but I'd never watched him play it because I was too young to. I was either too young or like the game was old and he'd already beaten it, and it was like, he's not gonna replay it. But I remember one time I said something about Silent Hill, and he was like, "Oh yeah, I have like a bunch of those like games," and I was like, "Bro, you should play them." And it was a really old one. I think it was the first or the second one. I remember looking at it. I was like, "These graphics look like these this was scary." He's like, "Yeah, like at the time," and I was like, "Oh, I feel let down."
Oh no. My
And
dad
then
likes to talk about the Resident Evil games like that. He's
my
like,
dad
at the
was like,
time it was real scary, but now you look at it and you're like, there's no way you could be scared of this.
"Oh
This
yeah,
is
that's like one
polygons.
thing about horror movies. I my parents really like horror movies, especially my dad, and my grandpa really likes them too. Like like old horror movies, like classics, like 80s and 90s horror movies. He doesn't really watch like newer ones, but like
Yeah, they have a
my
different feel
mom,
about them.
yeah, it's like that's not like the same. It's like these are actually like they're either kind of boring or it's like, okay, well, I'm just kind of like, guess that was scary, but it's like
Just
not
a
like
little
any
bit
kind of,
upset about the content.
yeah,
Just
it's
like,
like, oh,
oh
it didn't
damn,
give
he
me good
killed that girl.
yeah, or it has like stuff in it that's like, I didn't want to see that. And then it's like, but it doesn't leave like any kind of like a lasting impact. You know what I mean? It's like you're like upset about it afterwards, and then
Yeah,
like, it's not something you're like, man, that was a really good movie. It's like, well, like I mean, it was a scary movie. Like
like Jason 10.
Jason,
I think about Jason 10 every day.
ever.
It's just like,
I
oh man, he sure was in space.
Yeah, but yeah, so like my mom talks about like she was really little and A Nightmare on Elm Street had just come out and she was staying over at like a friend's house like for sleepover and their parents weren't there and so they watched Nightmare on Elm Street and she said she was so scared and she was so scared that like she told her parents about it. It's so funny because like that movie is like it's not even like even at the time like it was a horror comedy, like it wasn't actually like it wasn't I you like it's scary I guess, but like it's also like it's a funny movie and it's like
Yeah.
it's so good. And then my mom has a phobia of clowns because of watching it, which
Oh
sort of
yeah, that
relates to another
movie.
one of those movies where it's like you watch it and it's like this is the funniest shit I've ever seen in my life.
I haven't seen it or the second one, but I've heard things about them.
I
Can't
don't
say
like the
good or
remakes.
bad things. It's just things.
I hate the remakes. I hate the remakes for so many reasons. I love the original. It's like it's goofy and like I love the like whole aesthetic of it. And it's got a lot of like really like funny lines. Not like funny. Like they weren't supposed to be funny, but like they are now. They were
Yeah.
scary at the time and they're like iconic lines, but
That
uh
reminds me of my family yesterday. Was it yesterday? Oh my god. My family yesterday, we watched a movie on Netflix. I don't remember. Oh, it was called the Clove Hitch Killer, and it was a like what are those called? Not like thrillers, like a suspense movie about a serial killer.
yeah.
And
Oh,
we were watching it, and we got to the part. The whole movie was basically like the son of this who was in like the Boy Scouts was trying to figure out like, oh, I think my dad was this serial killer from like 10 or 20 years ago, and like he was trying to figure out like what was up with that. And so like the whole movie was that. And then like the last 40 minutes of the movie was, oh damn, it really is my dad, and now he's trying to kill this lady that he met at the store or something. And it was like,
it
okay, we've
happens.
finally gotten to the point of this story where there's going to be a murder. We're going to see a murder in the movie. but it was just so funny. I could not stop laughing. There was like this whole recurring joke in the movie about how the dad was like, he had a bad back. So like the whole time this he's this old man, he's like, he must be 40. He's like trying to kill this woman and like tie her up and torture her, and he's like, ow, my back. Hey, tie yourself up. I don't want to do it. And then she like ties her hands up, and he's like, no, you did it wrong. I have to do everything myself. I was cracking up. It's like this isn't supposed to be funny, but like it is, but it isn't, but it's not funny, but it is, and I was losing my mind.
Yeah.
Like those are the type of horror movies that I want to come back. Like just completely unhinged goofiness that's like, oh man, this is a terrible thing that's happening, but this is so funny.
Yeah, that's why I love like old, like 80s, early 90s horror movies. That shit is so good. I remember when I was little, so like I don't know when I started to like horror, but I know that I liked horror, and like my family knew I loved it. It was probably like, oh, I remember. It was like I used to watch like cryptid and alien shows on like Animal Planet or Discovery Channel or whatever that stuff was playing on.
Oh, I love those shows.
It's banging, and that's why I was so scared of. I watched them at like my grandparents' house when I would sleep over, but they live sort of like they live in an old house, and like their property is really big, and then there's like some woods surrounding it. And so I was like, bro, what if Bigfoot comes and like he looks through my window and it's so scary. Like, or I would watch, like shows about ghosts, and I'd be like, what if I like see a ghost? And it didn't help that like my grandparents are convinced that the house is haunted, and I like have like stories about like things, and I used to be like, oh, there's a ghost in this house, and I'm gonna see it, and it's so scary. And like I never thought like I wasn't scared of like being hurt. I was just scared. I was like, bro, what if I see something like it's scary? Like,
you were scared of getting attacked by Bigfoot. You were scared of seeing Bigfoot.
I was scared of seeing Bigfoot or seeing
so
Bigfoot.
Good.
I wasn't scared of anything like hurting me. Like I was like, I never felt like I was in danger. I was just like, what if I see something and it's just like so scary?
Child you was like, Bigfoot is just a guy, but what if I see him though?
Yeah, because like, well, most of the shows I would like watch were like nobody ever got like killed or anything. They would just like see something and be like, whoa, like, oh no, like that's so scary.
Yeah.
Or, get abducted by aliens, but like they're fine afterwards. And I was like, bro, it's gonna happen to me. It's gonna be so scared. I'm gonna be so traumatized. And then I think I was in 5th grade. And like before that, like my family was like, you are not old enough to watch horror movies. You're gonna like never sleep ever again. Because like I had insomnia. Like I've always had insomnia ever since I was a baby. So they're like, you're never ever going to sleep ever again in your life. You have enough trouble sleeping as is. But like, I think I was in 5th grade, and I was like, Mom, Dad, I'm going over to my grandparents' house. Can I please watch a scary movie? And they're like, sure, like go ahead. You can watch some scary movie with your grandpa. And so I was like, fuck yes, I finally get to watch a scary movie. It's gonna be so great. I remember I went to my grandpa, we're gonna watch a scary movie, and he was like, yeah? Like,
I'm sure.
Watch a scary movie? And he was like, okay, what are you gonna watch? And I was like, well, I'm like 10, so I don't know any scary movies. You choose something. And we watched Sleepy Hollow, which honestly, like, it wasn't. Actually, Sleepy Hollow isn't exactly a scary movie. It's more like a thriller. It's got Johnny Depp in it, if that says anything. Like I was like, oh, this shit is banging. I remember, I think whenever on a Saturday, and like on Sunday, I went to church, and I was like, y'all, I watched this movie, scary movie. It was so good. You have to watch it. And I was like, everybody, have you heard of this movie? Like, you guys know about scary movies? Like, have you seen them?
Have you seen scary movies?
Have you seen a scary movie? Like, have you seen them? Do you know these? I don't know. I was
That's
like, I
so
was young,
good.
so I assumed like other people like didn't know what scary movies were or had never watched one, so they just didn't know, you know? I can't really remember. We watched like most of the ones we watched were old, so I didn't find them scary. But
Yeah.
like they were they definitely were like, damn, no shit banging. Except for Aliens, which is the second Alien movie, which was taking too long to have anything happen, so I made my grandpa turn it off and I went to bed. And then we watched my grandpa insisted that the first Halloween movie wasn't good, so we were gonna watch the second. And so we watched it and it was so boring. And I was like, I can't do this. I was not paying attention. I was like eating popcorn. And then that's all that mattered. I was like eating popcorn and I was petting the cat. And I was not paying attention to anything that was happening. Because one, none of it made sense to me. I didn't understand what was going on. And two, nothing exciting was happening. So I was just like, this is just like, this is a movie. This is
This
a
is just a
movie.
movie.
I don't know. I don't know what's happening. There's a guy. His name is Michael. He's killing somebody. He's on fire. He can't die. I don't know what's going on. You told me this
My
movie was
thing
good.
my thing with scary movies has always been like I've never been good with horror. Like I've always been scared of things and I'm just like easily startled, easily frightened. But I've always found like horror games and horror movies to be very interesting because I
Yeah,
like to
yeah.
see that kind of stuff. So like I remember watching this is like the funniest thing to me. I remember watching God, what was that? It's like it might have been Scary Movie 3 or something ridiculous like that. And it was just like whatever it was like, oh, this woman and this man are like in this house and it's haunted and they're trying to capture it's haunted or
Classics.
something stupid like that. I was at a sleepover birthday party for one of the people on my sports team and it was just like this I am so afraid. I'm so very afraid, but I must know what the story is. I must. So I'm like sitting in the middle of this living room with all these other people like hiding behind my hands trying to watch what's happening through my fingers because I was just so scared. And this is like every single scary movie I've ever seen at any age.
I
Like
like both like scary movies that suck in, like scary movies.
yeah. We watched I was with this I was in my high school. I might have been a freshman or a sophomore. And we had like a daytime game. So we had like a half day at school, but we had a game at the regular time, which would be like I don't know 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock. So we all went to this one girl on the team's house and we waited until like the time. We're like, oh, we can watch a scary movie. This scary movie just came out. It was oh god, what was that movie? The one with the deaf girl and the killer is in her house. Is it Hush?
Hush.
I
Hush.
think
Are
it
you
was
trying to wait?
Hush.
Was it a deaf? Was the girl deaf or was the guy deaf? I know there's the
The girl
movie.
was deaf, and
Oh,
the killer was trying to kill her, but she was deaf, and he was like, "Oh, I'm so scary," and she was like doing her dishes, and that was like the entire movie. Um,
I haven't
we watched that
seen that
movie,
one.
and the only reason that it didn't scare me at all was because we watched it in the middle of the day, and that is the only reason that I was not afraid.
I
Every
like.
other scary movie I've seen at any time has scared the crap out of me.
I've only ever watched like when I was with my grandpa, we'd always wait until it was like nighttime and we'd watch them like right after dinner and we'd watch scary movies. So I'm like conditioned. Like if I'm gonna watch a scary movie, it's gonna be at nighttime. And I will not watch it in the middle of the day. It does not hit the same, you know?
It really doesn't. It's true.
I actually the only time I ever like watched like the only scary movie I can ever remember watching during the day was I think it was Green Inferno, which I saw. This is back when I still like went to church when I was in like middle school. I remember like it was on TV and my dad was watching it before like I left with my grandparents, and like I was like, this is the movie ever. What is happening? I was like, I don't know what's happening. There's so much going on. There's so much gore. I don't understand the plot. This movie sucks.
It happens.
I think that one is. I swear that one is somehow related to the famous, well-known movie Cannibal Holocaust.
What?
Famous. There's this movie. It's called Cannibal Holocaust, and it was so like people thought it was like so graphic and like I don't know. People basically like they thought it was real, partially because like the stuff that like happened in the movie, like the effects were well done, and like also because after the movie came out, the director made the actors pretend like basically he tried to make it seem like it was real. Like I think it was I don't know if it was a documentary or not. But basically like he had them like just not exactly go into hiding, but he was like, you're not allowed to make public appearances, you're not allowed to like go out in public, you're not allowed to be seen by people. I don't remember if he told them they weren't allowed to talk to like their family. Actually, I think what he might have done is like he's like, okay, we're all going on vacation for a couple months after the movie comes out, so people think you're dead. And like it got like so like such a big deal. Like people were like, dude, people are stupid, so they thought they like filmed murders and released them in theaters because that's a thing that can, definitely is going to happen,
Yeah.
They ended up like the people like had to come out of hiding because they had to go to court to prove they weren't dead because the guy was on trial to go to jail for murder. It's still banned in a couple countries. I don't think it's banned in the US anymore, but I know there's a couple European countries like you can't get the movie like
that's actually hilarious.
And it's funny because it's like on one hand it's like the movie was like bad. It was like super graphic for no reason and like it was also racist.
Oh good.
About like, a tribe and they kill these people. It's so scary, But,
yeah,
like,
that makes sense.
Also the fact people like believed that somehow these people had gotten away with filming this and then they were just showing it in theaters. Like
they filmed this and it was real and they convinced them that it was fake so that they could show you real murder on TV.
Basically, yeah. They were like, this is real and we're showing it in theaters, but like this has to be like it's a real murder. But
see,
yeah,
now I want to see it. I want to see it just to know if the effects were that good. Like, obviously, like every other aspect of the movie is not good, but I would like to see if it was actually realistic or if they hadn't seen any good movies yet.
I mean, I've seen like some of the like screen caps of it, and it's like, yeah, if you told me like this was real, I guess I'd like believe you. Like the effects were. I mean,
I guess
okay.
like believable.
I mean, a lot of it like was done with like animal stuff, and they showed like besides the effects for the humans, they showed like actual murder of animals on screen.
Oh, awesome! That's always good to see.
Another big part of like the controversy. It's like, dude, I think there were a couple of animals they showed killed on screen. One of which was like, I think the guy asked first, but it was like they were doing like he asked a couple of like the locals like to film and they were like killing a water buffalo for something which he filmed and put in the movie. But he was like, okay, that's whatever. But like they killed like a dog or something like that. It's like, bro, what's wrong with you?
Yeah, don't be killing dogs.
Don't be killing dogs. Yeah.
Honestly, like any animal is bad, but like specifically dogs. Please don't be killing dogs, guys.
I mean, like the other like with the like water buffalo, like they were doing like they were going to use the animal for food and stuff like that. So it's like that's different. But the other one it's just like it's like we're gonna do this for film. Like no, don't do that. What's wrong with you? You're insane.
Yeah, that's messed up.
Yeah. Yeah, I think Green Inferno was like I don't know if it was like kind of like the same guy or wait, Green Inferno was about cannibals? I don't even remember that. Actually, I think I might have stopped watching the movie at one point. Well, there's a lot of movies that suck.
Yeah.
Moral of the story. Other
Moral of the
moral of the
story, not
story,
all movies are
people,
good.
not all movies are good, and people will believe that you showed something fucked up in the movie theaters, like when they did Blair Witch Project, and I thought people were actually missing it.
Oh, I remember that. Did I see that?
Bro, that was one of the. That's definitely up there with movies that suck. Like,
That was a mockumentary, wasn't it? It was like supposed
it
to
was a
be a documentary.
mockumentary. It was one of the first mockumentaries ever made, or at least it was definitely the first one shown in theaters. And I don't know if it was the first one ever made, but it was definitely one of the first. Like it started the genre, so like people had never seen a mockumentary before, so
Yeah.
they didn't quite understand like
It
that
was
it's
like
like
either this is movie or this is documentary. Like you didn't realize that there
yeah.
could be an overlap.
Yeah, they were like, oh, it's like filmed with, like bad cameras and it's not, the acting is very like natural and made to seem like it's being filmed. And they like I think for like their advertising they had like missing posters up and stuff like that. And I think they had the actors, not make public appearances to sort of get the hype up for the movie. But like people were like, yo, bro, there's a witch in the woods killing people. And they put it on screen on the movie in the movie theater. I went in the movie theater and I saw these people and they got killed in the woods. It's like no,
That's
no,
so weird. I
you're
remember, I'm
welcome.
pretty sure I read about that whole thing, but I'd never seen it, so I don't really know. I remember,
Yeah, it's not like
I saw the
it's
Scooby-Doo episode that was
yes,
supposed to look like that, but that's it.
yeah. I haven't actually seen that. I heard about it. I wanted to check it out. I never got around to. Yeah, I mean, it's like it's a movie. It's not. It's really boring. Not a lot
Yeah.
happening, and like you don't like see like anything. You know what I mean? Like nothing. There's like the people running around in the woods scared for
Yeah.
like 2 hours, and like at one point, I mean, they find the most exciting things that happen is the guy standing in the corner, the famous scene of man standing in the corner in the
Love
basement.
that scene.
Love that scene. The best part about that scene is that's literally like that's the end of the movie. Like that's how the movie ends. They like find this house in the woods and like it's abandoned and they like hear some sounds and then like the girl goes in the basement and sees him standing in the corner and she like screams and freaks out and she drops the camera and that's the end of the movie and it's like what? Like I don't understand what you
Awesome.
it's so scary when people
I love
stand in
when
the
the most
corner.
exciting part of the movie is the last 5 seconds and then the movie ends.
Yeah, and the only other part like that I would consider like kind of like it's not even really like interesting exactly, but it's like it's something is like one of the guys goes missing and they're like camping out in the woods in their tents and they like hear there's like something rustling the tents and they're like, oh, I'm so scared, it's so scary. And then the next morning they find like a little bundle of sticks and they unwrap it and it's got like some hair and I think it's got like a tooth and it's got like some stuff in it and they're like, yo, somebody they killed him and they're trying to scare us, and it's like, yeah,
This is a spell from the witch.
this is from the witch. It's like, damn, sure is. Yeah, I mean it's definitely like a culturally influential movie, but like it's not a
Yeah.
good movie.
It's definitely one of those things where it had to be watched at the time because you
Oh
would have
yeah.
to have that mystery and like confusion of is this a movie or is this a documentary? Is this real or is it acting? Like, that's one of the things. And then also, of course, the aftermath of, we're still trying to figure out if this was real or not, and now the director's in court. Like, that's, like, it's a phenomenon.
I'm pretty sure that, I swear the movie had a disclaimer saying that it was fake at the beginning. Like, you know, one of those, any, like, similarity to real people or events is purely, you know, it's a coincidence.
Yeah.
But, like, I remember, like, I was talking to my mom about it, and I was like, oh, like, I guess, like, at the time it was probably scary, and she was like, no. I went to see it in theaters, and it was the worst movie ever. She said it was so boring, and it sucked, and it was, like, the acting wasn't even, like, good enough to sell it. She was like, it was not a good movie, and I was like, oh, okay, so it's just people
So
having
it's always been bad.
Oh, so it's always been bad, yeah, pretty much. Yeah, Blair Witch, classic of movies.
Classic of gaming.
Classic of gaming. I think there's been actually, I think there was a game based on it.
Impossible Bracket Radio Blur.
Well, I have to find out. Is there a Blair Witch movie?
I'm sure there's something.
Please, 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 I love you. There is. When did it come out? Holy shit, it has a 69% the rating.
Awesome.
Yeah. Oh, it came out in 2019.
Really?
It was really recent. Not like really recent, but like I was expecting something for like the PS1.
That's what I was thinking, because it's like an old movie.
Yeah, when did it come out? Let me see. Came out in 1999, yeah.
Radio Blur. Decreasing the adversary's defense. That's cool.
Oh, I love to attack my adversary.
So true. Adversary is such an interesting word. It's like adverse is like against. And it's like, oh, that guy's against me. He's my adversary.
I'd never made that connection before.
Really?
Yeah. You think I don't think about words. People say things
Oh, I'm
to
a
me.
big fan of words.
People say things to me and I'm like, that's words.
That's words. My best friend is an English major and she loves words. She's a big fan of words.
Oh, I know words. That's so cool. My best friend is a business major.
Multiple incredible impacts. Let's see it. Oh, that's good.
I was almost a business major once. That would have been the biggest mistake of my life. I was like, oh, it'll be like what's the word? It'll be a degree that'll be useful, you know. I can get a lot of different jobs with it.
Oh yeah, that's how they get you.
I wasn't sure what I wanted to major in. So I was like, I'll just get something that's versatile. That's the word. I was like, I'll just get, you know, a degree that's versatile, you know, go to college for 4 years. And I was like
and just work somewhere.
Yeah, it was like last minute before applying. I was like, you know, I think I want to be an environmental science major. I was like, fuck it. That's what I'm doing. I'm not going to be a business major. I hate numbers. I hate money. I hate all
numbers
of that.
Are my worst thing. I hate them.
I was like, I don't want to do statistics. I don't want to talk about money and the economy. I want to talk about bugs and animals. I want to stick my hands in the dirt. And
that's quite the turnaround to make.
Well, like I wanted to be like an arts major at one point, which then I was like, yeah, hell no, that's not happening. I don't want an art degree. You know, like I was like, I do art for fun. I don't want to do it as a job. But I love a science. I love a funny science. Ever since I was a baby, I love the funny. I love funny science. I took science classes as electives as often as I could.
Yeah,
And
science is good.
I was like, I was like, I've always loved like environmentalism and stuff like that. And then I was like, wait, I was like looking through the like, I was like looking at like different majors, and I was like, wait, that can be my major. Like I can do that for school.
I can do
And
this
so
for
it's like,
job.
I can do this for a job. Well, I knew it could be a job. I was like, I don't know. It just never occurred to me that like specifically environmental science could be my major. I was actually gonna be a biochemist engineer, biochemistry major, which I'm still interested in, but like
It
maybe
sounds complicated.
it's kind of complicated, but I enjoy the sciences. I like to mix the chemicals.
Yeah. A friend of mine just finally dropped out of his major. He was trying to do what's that called? Like pre-nursing basically, but not for like nursing specifically, for something different. And he finally dropped out of that because he has taken and failed chemistry 3 times.
That's gonna. I failed remedial chemistry. It wasn't actually. Like based on my grades, I wouldn't have needed to take it. But I was like, it's been too long since I graduated, or not since I graduated, but like since I took that class, and I was like, I'm gonna retake it so that I like one, so that I can sort of like solidify things in my brain, and also like just in case like they teach me something that they hadn't taught me in high school, you know,
Yeah,
that they'll have like I'll need to know for like when I take the next class. And then I failed because I took.
it happens.
I guess like my classes weren't that hard, but I did the classics of first semester of college, and I took 5 classes. And so my schedule was so full, and I was so stressed out, and I had work to do constantly, and I failed like all but like I didn't. I passed English. I passed my art class, my art history class, and I passed. The other one I took was like it wasn't the full. It wasn't the full semester. It was like a half a semester, and it was just like on like how to deal with your first year of college kind of stuff. You know, like
Oh yeah, I had that class. Like a
yeah,
first year seminar kind of thing.
yeah. But it was first year seminar thing.
First year seminar was so awful.
Yeah,
My
some people were like, this class was great. I'm like, this class was nothing.
yeah,
I would go to the class and I would sit on my phone. This was my
honestly,
class where I got a break before my next one.
some people were like, "Oh, this class is good because I don't have to do anything and I get credit." And I'm like, "No, you don't understand. Like, I'm bored out of my mind." The
Yeah,
professor
you
that
don't
I
even get
had,
like you
she
get
was
like
like,
1 credit.
"Yeah, and it's like not even that much. Like a regular class is like 3." Like
Yeah,
this
classes
woman who
regular
was
classes
teaching
are
the
like
class,
4.
this woman who was teaching the class was like, I think she was the dean. I don't even think she was a teacher. I think she was like the dean of the school.
That's so
And
cool.
she was like, "Oh, hey guys, like today we're gonna talk about how to take notes." I was like, "I know how to take notes. Why do you think I'm in college? Like, I got here by taking notes. What are you talking about?" And most of the time she'd like give us packets and she'd be like, "Oh, this packet is a grade. You have to fill out this packet about how you manage your time." Like, no, ma'am. Like, I know how to manage my time. That's how I'm here. We've been over
Yeah.
this.
Most of the work we did was like nothing. It was like super easy stuff, but it was like it was easy, but at like taking 5 classes, even just something that only took me like 30 minutes was like too much extra work for me. So that probably
Yeah.
like didn't. didn't help me pass any of my classes. And like the teacher was really nice, and I'm sure for some people like the class would have been helpful, but for me it was like,
Oh
okay, I
yeah,
already
for
know
sure.
this. You didn't teach me anything new.
I feel like
You
it's one
just
of those
told
things that
me
should
more.
be like a, not really like an opt-in, opt-out thing, because there are people that need that, that would be like, oh no, I don't want to take that class, that sounds boring. But like
Yeah.
at the same time, like I should not have been in that class. That class was a complete waste of time for me.
Yeah. For me, like it was an optional class, but like the counselor was like, I highly suggest you take it. And I was like, yeah, whatever. It's just one extra class. How bad can it be? You know, like classic mistakes. It's okay. Yeah, I failed remedial math because no thoughts in my brain, and then I failed chemistry. And the thing is, like, I did really, really good in chemistry when I first took it. And like I love chemistry. Like it's one of my favorite classes because I'm insane and there's something wrong with me. So like the fact I failed it, I was like, whoa, that's not good. And like I retook this semester, I retook the math class and I got an A. I got like a 94 or 5,
Oh,
maybe
that's good.
96%. And I was like, okay, yeah, no. Last semester I just took too many fucking classes.
Last semester, my
Now I
brain
know.
was a fried egg.
Yeah, yeah. I imagine that's probably a classic mistake a lot of people their like very first semester make. They're like, oh, I took, 7 classes, you know, in a year for high school, that's I should be able to handle, 5
Yeah,
for
that's
college.
absolutely the mistake. Because
Yeah,
like
I
I take
didn't
5 classes in college, and I'm like, this is so much.
yeah, I didn't account for the fact that one, it's the whole class in the time it takes for 1/4 of the year in in like high school and everything else, and also the classes are harder because it's college.
Yeah.
So my mistake. I was gonna retake chemistry over the summer, but I think instead I will look at funny bugs outside.
Oh, I love to look at funny bugs outside.
Yeah. I was like, I think I'm gonna take a summer break, especially since like we might be able to like take a vacation of some kind somewhere or at least get outside of the house. So I don't want to be stuck in classes. I want to go outside and do things.
Yeah.
This is okay. I take classes. I learn things. Honestly, I'm kind of like college. Like, I hate it. It sucks. I want to go out. I want to get a job. I don't want a funny piece of paper.
This is true. This is
I
also
want
how I feel. Especially
to
majoring
go
in
out.
freaking sports, man. Like I'm just I know how to
Yeah.
do sports. I know how to teach people how to do sports. But at the same time, there's a
Yeah.
lot of classes in sports management that are like I learned things I didn't even think about in sports. Like facility
Yeah.
design is nuts. That class was awesome.
Yeah. I'm not at the point in my like schooling for my specific major where I like am learning things that I didn't know before. You know what I mean? Like I'm still kind of in like getting ready to go into stuff. Like I'm taking like prerequisite classes before I take the ones that are like specific for my major. So like it's mostly stuff that either I know or it's, like chemistry where it's like there's not a whole lot in there that's all that mind blowing, you know?
Yeah. It's all
And
based around the
also,
same stuff.
yeah, and being like technically my major is environmental science and policy, but like I'm not looking to go into the policy so much as the policy making, so much as like research and like doing like surveying and stuff like that. And I'm like,
Yeah.
please, why do I need a piece of paper saying that I went to school? I want to go out, I want to count the fish in the ponds. Like, I want to go and I want to measure the width of tree trunks. And, like, I want to test water quality and I want to make sure that, the frogs are breeding enough, make sure, like, stuff like that. It's like, I don't need a piece of paper to tell you that I took, XYZ classes. Just give me the job.
Yeah, that's the thing too. Environmental science is like a really big thing at my school because I live in the woods and this is just how it is here. But everyone has like the same emotions. They're like, man, I already know critters. I spend so much time with critters. I just wanna go outside. I wanna sit on the run and I wanna look at the deer and I wanna enjoy them and I want to make sure they're eating properly and then I'm gonna go to sleep and I'm gonna come back the next day. And I'm like,
Yeah,
you do that. I believe in you.
yeah. And a lot of it's like if you're gonna get a job, like, say you get a job, I don't know, tagging lampreys, you know, any information. It's such a like a lot of the jobs in environmental science, like for like that sort of stuff, is like they're so highly specific that it's like nothing you learn in class. Like you're not gonna learn like take a class on that specific thing. Like you're gonna learn the most by like going, and then the person who hires you is gonna be like, okay, well, here's what you need to know. It's like, please, anything I need to know, they'll teach me. Just let
Yeah.
me go get a job. Just hire me. I promise. I promise. I'm
It's like
so I'm so good.
it's like one of those things where I feel like it should be more of a like a trade. Because if you go to a trade
Yeah,
school, you learn everything that you're gonna need to know. You don't get the liberal arts education. You learn, okay, I am going to school for carpentry, and I'm going to learn how to cut wood this way and that way, and how to join wood, and I'm gonna
yeah,
learn carpentry. And I feel like that's what a lot of things should be. A lot of things that are in college should be more of a trade because it just makes
yeah,
more sense.
yeah. And like I've learned a lot more in my own studies. Thank you, college, for letting me search databases of things I love to read, your scientific articles that I have to pay for otherwise. But like I've learned more through like doing that, like reading like studies than I have like in the classroom. It's like there's a lot
Yeah,
like to learn there. Like there's a lot to like learn, but I can learn it on my own. I don't think the teachers either aren't teaching me or like I could teach myself.
yeah, I feel that.
Let me go touch the animals, please. I never asked before.
Please, please, please let me touch the animals.
Like one of the most fun things I ever did was going out in like freezing weather and surveying a small section of a park, and for figuring out the health of the trees, and then we planted saplings, and I was like, this is the shit I want to be doing for the rest of my life. And banging. Like
That does sound good.
it's nice. It was fun to do. I mean, it was kind of like exhausting because we were digging, like the soil around here has a lot of clay and it had rained recently, so it was so like it was a pain in the ass to dig those holes, but like it was fun. I love to be in the woods even though it was cold, and
Yeah.
like the two like oh my gosh, the class I like that I got to do that for, I took a horticulture class, which the teacher who did that also taught like three other classes. He was like the science teacher, and he was my environmental science teacher in ninth grade, and then like he was a really nice guy. He was like a really chill guy. He was very cool and very like he was kind of like if you saw him, you'd be like, that's a hippie, you know? Like, he wore like old clothes with holes in them. And I used to make fun of him because he had duct tape on his shoes to cover the holes in them. Like,
This
but
is
like,
how I dress.
yeah, I was like, I really like enjoyed him as a teacher. And he was like, I remember I had gone to the Botanic Gardens in DC, and when I had come back, I was talking to them, and I remember, like, I think I was doing something that was during the summer that involved me being at the school when there wasn't other people there. And I remember he was there in the greenhouse doing stuff, and I went there and I was like talking to him about like some of the stuff there, and he was like, "Oh, like, well, I teach a horticulture class, so you should take it sometime. Like, I think you'd enjoy it." So I ended up taking that my senior year because I was like, "I want to take class that's gonna be so easy." And it was a really easy class, but like, so we got to go on the field trip to a park, and they came and they picked us up in this little van, this like old van that was super small, and it didn't really have seatbelts in it. It was full of dirt,
Oh,
and we went to this park, and these two like older guys came, and they were like, "Okay, we're gonna be measuring these trees. Let me show you how to do it." And I was like, "I want to be these. I want to be these men so bad. Like, this is when I grow up. I want to be the cool old guy who works at the park and like tells you to go measure trees. Like, this is what I want to do."
yeah. That sounds good. That sounds like a nice thing to do.
It is nice, like, to be
Yo,
outside, see animals.
you see this? Cataclysmic impact. That's awesome.
Love to see it.
I think we're gonna do that one time.
Battered
We're gonna fight one guy. he does a hyper beam. 10 million damage.
He does a psychic blast and kill you.
I want to see how good this is, and then I think we'll wrap it up after that. Cause it's been a good amount of time. We've just been grinding. Cataclysmic. It takes a lot more competence than the other one, so I'm assuming that this is gonna be nuts. 2,000? And this is gonna take it out, right? Oh my gosh, that's amazing.
Love to see it.
I don't even have enough to do it again. That's how much that took. But this is okay, because this one's also good.
Unbelievably attack.
When I said we're gonna do this one time, I was more serious than I thought I was.
You don't get to do it more times. You cannot do it anymore.
I physically cannot do it again. This is so messed up. We did a lot of progress today. We started at level 14. We went up more than 30 levels. But that's gonna be the end of it, because I'm tired, and I'm sure that you are also tired, Smiley.
I am. I sleep.
I love to snooze.
I love to go to bed.
Me too.
3 hours.
I can't wait to go to bed. It's been such a long day, man. Yesterday, 4 o'clock in the afternoon, I leave my house to go see people, and I haven't been away from people since.
Oh, I would die.
It's been a time. But yeah, we're gonna wrap it up here. I don't know who's in chat. I have no idea. Twitch says 1 viewer. I believe them. Anyone who happens to be here, you can join this funny link that I have. And that's gonna be the end of the stream.
1 viewer, join the Discord.
My one funny viewer. There's Game Trend Analytics, which I don't know if that's a user or if that's the literal Game Trend Analytics. I don't know. And then this is someone else named Sultriest. Sultriest, if you're there, I would love for you to join the funny Discord and to follow me on Twitch. That'd be so cool of you. But if not, that's okay. I'm gonna go to sleep. So I'll see you guys soon.
Cat name was Stanley.
Yes, you get to see pictures of my cat named Stanley. You get to find